watching around
Look,
the world.
pull up the seat and pull out your shot glass. Carnivorous for the podcast. Try media for the broadcast. Straight up ballin' out on they fraud ass. The coalition of bitches, they talk trash. On the mission to fit in your soft ass. Rolling green and clubbing this golf class. Loaded lust couldn't say they lost ass. The conscious community streets is all sad. Niggas be thinking they heat, they all last. Be conscious of all the sand in the hourglass. Be humble when be prepared when the power pass. Old and young niggas, we all class. Ideology different, we move the ball fast. Yeah, these chickens is out of season, we haul ass. There's a reason we undefeated, it's all fast. Pull up a seat, pull out a shot glass. Carnivorous for the podcast. Try media for the broadcast. Straight up ballin' out on they fraud ass. Pull up a seat, pull out a shot glass. Carnivorous for the podcast. Try media for the broadcast. Straight up ballin' out on they fraud ass.
Oh man, I'm getting right into it, man. I was supposed to been live, man. I was just on the damn Rush, what up? Donnie, what up? Got caught on the phone with that crazy ass God killer, man. Him and Chief X is insane, man. They are insane. But I think we're coming to a point where we're finally gonna get somewhere with those two, right? It might look crazy, y'all, but I see some convergence of their ideas. You dig what I'm saying? I see movement, you feel me? I see progress. I see them talking to each other. I see them addressing each other. Now, I'm gonna let y'all know this. There's a lot of people, right? There's a lot of people in the internet space, right, who love to see brothers always at each other's throats, right? So beware of those type of people. There's gonna always be people pushing for two brothers to be at each other's throats, right? But I see them two, exchanging ideas with each other. I see them constantly addressing each other, even being willing to be on panels with each other. And it seems like they're starting to listen to each other a little bit more, right? So I see daylight. I'm the type, I always been the type nigga, right? I could always see where something, you dig what I'm saying, will end at, right? And people that you beef with the hardest, you dig what I'm saying, you'll sit back years later and trip off of that shit and be like, remember, we was going crazy on each other, right? They'll be able to sit back. Listen, if you don't kill a motherfucker or a motherfucker don't kill you, right? Then over time, there's always room, right? For a different relationship to form out of that, right? So, you know what I mean? People who never been through nothing, they'll think that an internet beef is the end all, the be all to everything, and it's not. It's not. You dig what I'm saying? It's not. Right? So beware of people who constantly push beef on you, right? If you only got people around you pushing for beef and for you to be, disrespectful and at other brothers' throats, beware those people, right? Beware those people. Will those same people be around you when shit is calm, right? Or are they always around just because it's some bullshit going on? You notice more people show up to bullshit than to people getting the fuck along. If I would have made a post about, F Unc or F Chief X, I'm going in on them, flooded. You feel me? Flooded. You know what I mean? But so that, remember that. You know what I mean? If people always say, man, don't talk to that nigga, man, don't, you know what I mean? F him, F that, boom, boom, boom. Why are you so mad? Beware people who matter at another nigga that you gotta beef with. They madder at him than you are. You gotta beware of that shit. That's called a battery. I don't need no battery in my back. If you that mad at him, go do something to him for me then. That's always been my saying. Don't pump me up. Right? If you that aggravated at that motherfucker, then go do something for him. Go do something to him for me. Because you shouldn't be madder than I am. You shouldn't be holding a grudge longer than I'm holding a grudge. So beware of those people, man. Beware of those people. But I've seen movement in their conversation. And it's been fun to watch because they both hilarious, right? They both hilarious. So, but I got questions, right? I got questions for both of them. Both of them are incoherent to me, right? Exactly, Rush. Exactly. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I got questions for the both of them niggas, man. Like, I watched their shit today and I'm just like, the only thing y'all make me do is have more questions for y'all. Cause ain't none of y'all clear. Ain't none of y'all clear. Shit is all over the place, right? Y'all trying to make definitive arguments about something that anthropologists and historians is still trying to figure out. Y'all are planting flags. Y'all see, I don't even talk about Egypt no more. I just laugh about the shit. Ain't no way in the world. Me and Unc just had an hour conversation. That's why I'm late. We started off talking about something Egypt. Then we talked about the Mongol Empire, the Islamic Empire, the medieval Christianity. You feel? For a whole hour. Left Egypt, forgot we initially was talking about some motherfucking Egypt. We don't even have those type of conversations. It'll start off there, then we'll go off into something else. I don't need to talk about that shit no more. It's insane. You know what I mean? It's insane. What happened with Egypt is Afrocentrists then fucked us up. They got us all caught up into Egypt, right? This is something that came from a previous generation that was put on to us, right? I released it, right? I released it. You know what I mean? And both sides don't realize that the previous generation messed the way that they think of Africa up on both sides. Right? Dr. Ben and them gave us a romanticized concept of Africa. It might have been needed at that time, but it's baggage now. And the reason why I say that is because Chief X fights against that old baggage, right? Updates to science and new information, but hold on to the sentiments of the old baggage. Now, I didn't say he hold on to the information of the previous generation, but a lot of his arguments come from the sentiment, right? From the sentiment of Dr. Ben and them. He carries a lot of their sentiment with him about Africa, right? And that was the romanticized situation of how they did it, if y'all could understand that. And Chief X understands that, and he actually is fighting against the romanticized version of history that previous generation gave us, right? It seems as though Unc feels as though he would love to hold on to the sentiment, but elevate the information. Chief X seems as though he want to go to he want to deal with the information only on the surface level, right? And on the surface level, sometimes, how do I want to say it? If you just deal with the information on the surface level, sometimes the old baggage of racism can creep into there, if that makes sense, right? And sometimes on Unc, and if you keep the sentiment, right, of the previous generation, sometimes their pseudoisms can creep in there. So that's where they're both are clashing at. You dig what I'm saying? They both kind of right there, but they're clashing because one is trying to hold on to the sentiments of the previous generation, and one is trying to kill the sentiments of the previous generation, right? The romanticized, the reverence and adherence to Africa is what kind of holds on to, right? And Chief X is the hell with that. You know what I mean? The hell with that. You know what I mean? So he's taking a tank, right? When he should have a scalpel, right? He should have a scalpel, but he's driving a tank through it. But be careful, right, of the ones that just want y'all to just argue. They find entertainment in that. Now, it's entertaining as hell. You dig what I'm saying? But y'all two older brothers, it ain't worth y'all blood pressure. Smalls, what up? Solo, what up? Who else in here? We got a small crowd. I know Ben was supposed to go live, y'all. I was just... Let's see where this girl at real quick. I might got to jump off of here. Because something about to go down. It got to go down. What? Yeah, so I just got questions, right? That's where I'm at. I just got questions for him. Reggie, what's up, Sonic? Reggie is a Reggie is neutral, right? We know Reggie's stance. Reggie pretty much ain't changed. And another thing, we're watching Unc and Chief X argue on the fly, right? And neither one of them will admit when they're changing parts of their argument. Come on, camera, focus. A lot of them won't admit, they won't admit when they're learning, right? And that they adjusting their argument as new information come in, right? As they acquire new information, new perspectives, right? Remember, Unc has a whole team, and they give him different perspectives, and you dig what I'm saying? Different sources come in, and you feel me? You might listen to somebody's a Chief X show and then say, okay, I need to change this up a little bit to be a little bit more clear or to make my point a little bit better. Both of them are doing that shit. And they're doing it on the fly, and things are changing and moving. I'm aware of both of their changes and movements over the last 4 or 5 years. I've changed and moved around on this subject. If you don't change with new information, then it's no point in talking to y'all. That's why I don't really listen to Reggie no more when it come to Egypt. Reggie is stuck. He know it all already. It is what it is. Reggie got into an argument with an Egyptologist. That's how dug in Reggie is. That's right. That's right, Indigenous. That motherfucker is regurgitating, Unc is regurgitating your teachings from 2020. You are absolutely right. You know what I mean? Right, Rush. You know what I mean? So they're moving, they are making each other better. Right? They're making each other better. So they gonna get somewhere, right? I'm here for it. I'm tuned in. I'm just tripping off of it, but I have questions. So hopefully my questions can get them to move further. I'm thinking. Maybe it can. Maybe it can't. Where Brass at, man? Listen, I've been there supposed to send Hey, Sonic, that motherfucker, man, Nairobi is kind of fly. Like, I don't know. Y'all got something over there, Sonic. You feel me? I might have to come fuck with y'all in Nairobi. That motherfucker was kind of fly, man. My man over there living nice. You feel me? Man. Damn. Yeah. Y'all got something over there. Y'all motherfucking Kenyans. Y'all got something over there in Nairobi, man. I could do that. I could do that, right? My daughter is in her 3rd year of college right now. So I'm thinking, she's going to go to graduate school, but I don't think she would actually need me here in the United States for graduate school. You dig? I want to at least be here while she get her bachelor's, right? When she go to graduate school, I think I'll be able to move around, right? I think I'll be able to move around. So, you know what I mean? That Kenyan video, it definitely made me think. And then I'm like, the prices? I'm like, look, that motherfucker said that apartment that he stays in that high rise, he said he only paid the equivalent of $750. I'm just thinking, well, my business, if I keep my business running over here without me working, I'm thinking I probably could still net $5,000 a month. I could do it. I could do it. That's definitely doable. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. That's fly. I might could do something like that. You know what I mean? That video was very inspiring. You dig? And then the women over there, Jesus Christ. I can adapt to the culture though. I ain't tripping off of that. Gonna trip off of that. Let me see. Nairobi. They got some. They got some nice ones. Yes. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I don't know. They got a lot of ugly chicks over there. Y'all got a lot of ugly chicks in Nairobi. Sonic. I don't know. I ain't going there. I just changed my mind. Let me get off Google. I'm fucking around. I'm fucking around. Y'all some beautiful people. Beautiful people. Hey, y'all, damn, we got it. What's up, guy Aisha? How you been, sis? Oh, man. Oh, man. OG videos, yeah. Reggie stay bugging, man. We gonna start calling Reggie Bug. Reggie new name is Bug, because he stay bugging. You feel me? Reggie stay bugging. That's my guy though. The Bug. Reggie said his nickname in his hood is Big Shaq. I don't know. I got questions. So check it out. So we got Chief X. You know what? I really don't even have no question for Chief X. The crazy part about it is, to me, whether Chief X is right or wrong, he's 100% clear to me. Now, y'all done seen me beef with Chief X. If y'all don't know, me and Chief X beef more than me and Unc. Everybody in the Discord knows that. Everybody in Discord know that. Motherfuckers, when we in a voice chat, if Chief X come in the voice chat, mostly time everybody back up because they know me and Chief X is about to go at it. They know it. They know it. They know when Chief X posts something, Chef is coming behind Chief X to go crazy on him. So me and Chief X don't agree about politics and his stances on things. Half the time his stances get under my skin like no other, right? Matter of fact, most of the time Chief X makes me sick. Y'all know that? Most of the time Chief X posts something, I be sick reading that shit. Completely frustrated. Completely frustrated. Every Chief X post frustrates me. Every Chief X post. Me and Chief X is Facebook friends. His Facebook posts frustrate me. In the Discord, every time Chief X say something, I'm arguing with him. Every post he make, I'm going off on him. If he come into a voice chat, me and Chief X is in a screaming match with each other. Mostly everything he say and do repulses me. Gets up under my skin. And I make it known. But on this damn Black Egypt shit, everything he says, whether it's right or it's wrong, I understand it. Nothing he's saying is confusing. So it trips me out that when I look on the goddamn on the chats, right? On the lives and shit, everybody be going against Chief X, and I be like, y'all really disagree with Chief X? What he's saying don't make sense to y'all? He's not clear? everybody acting like they don't get what he's saying? Or the shit that he says makes him the dumbest motherfucker in the world? Like, y'all really feel like that? Like, that shit make me scared to even talk. If what he's saying makes him the dumbest motherfucker that y'all ever heard, and the shit that he's saying is so batshit crazy, I mean, I don't know. So I got questions. It's on my shit. I don't know what you talking about. Hold on. She about to get cussed out. Yeah, he's so clear. Even the shit that he get fucked up, I say is okay, that's easy to fuck up, but that could be fixed, that could be tweaked. I be like, yo, so if y'all was sitting down at a bar having a beer and you got into a light conversation, y'all telling me, or if Chief X came in the barbershop and y'all got to kicking it and a little bit of history or something get kicked, y'all saying y'all would look at him like he the crazy one? Really? So y'all saying Reggie and Unc sounds more coherent to y'all than Chief X? So Reggie with the Black Bull and the Black Bull people, and you know what I mean? Y'all saying, y'all be like, yeah, you kicking that shit. Y'all saying that when Unc start talking about ain't nobody black and this ain't black and you can't have black outside of America, y'all saying y'all, that shit makes sense to y'all? Yeah, I know they don't agree. You dig what I'm saying? I'm just saying that FBA wrong crazy. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I don't know. I look at listen, I work in the real world, right? I deal with everyday people every day, all day. So I like people who speak so everybody can understand them. I like people who can take a complex idea, right, and make a layperson understand it. There's an art in that shit. If you're talking to people, right, and the majority of the people like us the majority of the people, right, you know, the majority of the people, I can't see how you could understand people telling you you gotta read scientific journals and shit to understand what they are saying. Did you read the new study? What? Half of us don't even got college degrees. We can name the people on 2 hands that got college degrees. Right? So if we need goddamn just to understand what you're saying, if we need to have to read 20 journals and the new study and then maybe this not the conversation for you. I agree with that too, Sonic. So maybe this ain't the conversation for you. And then it be the chats be agreeing with that. So you telling me you can have 100 people watching, right? And agreeing with a scientific study that they never read, right? Half of the language in there they don't understand, and y'all siding with shit that you don't know if a nigga making that shit. You don't know. Shit should be simple. We simple people. We say, yo, the Egyptians was black. Dr. Ben and them taught in colleges. Sheikh Anta Diop was an actual doctor. These motherfuckers said the Egyptians were black. With their advanced degrees in education, they said the Egyptians was black. So these high-level educated motherfuckers, right, knew how to make a simple argument. And now all of a sudden, the ones without the education is saying that they are unable to make a simple argument and defend it. Chief X is making a simple argument. He's saying the Egyptians wasn't black. See how simple that is? Dr. Ben is a doctor. He taught at the college. Sheikh Anta Diop was a physicist. Right? He was a goddamn physicist, some type of physicist, nuclear physicist or something, and some type of anthropologist. Right? And some type of anthropologist. So, if he could make the simple argument, I'll do that for me. If he can make the simple argument, right? But then people sit there and tell you that you can't make the simple argument. It's insane. It's insane. All right, let me see. All right, let me make this. Yeah, my co-host comment. This girl playing games. Fuck wrong with you, new meeting. Insane to me, man. It's insane what I'm witnessing. And so I just got questions. Because like I said, Chief X position is simple as hell. The easiest to grasp. All of a sudden, we don't know what black people is. All of a sudden. How? How? The conversation then got so twisted up that has some of y'all questioning what's a black person. Man, it's so bad, right, that now African Americans, listen, I never knew you was FBA. Your position that African Americans is the only black people, nigga, that's a Tariq Nasheed talking point. Do you know that? That's a Tariq Nasheed talking point. A Tariq Nasheed talking point. Unc says that the only black people is African Americans. So, when Dr. Ben wrote Black Man of the Nile, Unc, you thought he was talking about African Americans? When Chancellor Williams wrote The Destruction of Black Civilization, your favorite book, you says, you thought he was talking about African Americans? No, bro, you just made that up. It ain't no way in the world you can convince me, and me and Unc talk for hours. Bro, I feel like you bullshitting me. That ain't no, man, you have, it's no way you could have been a student of Dr. Ben, Chancellor Williams, Sheikh Anta Diop, and all of these people and think that African Americans is the only black people. It's impossible. And then your slogan was Black African Power. So you said that the black was for the black people in America and the African was for the African. I just got questions. So how when I read Dr. Ben or sing Dr. Ben lectures or even watch a Dr. Ben lecture, right? How when I read Sheikh Anta Diop or, you dig what I'm saying? Or Chancellor Williams, how is it that I'm able to understand that black is a general term for Africans and the African diaspora? But somehow you missed that. I think that is impossible. So the only thing remains, and you keep saying it, so the only thing remains is, bro, you switching up to win an argument. Gotta be how So you never understood Chancellor Williams. You never understood Dr. Ben. You never understood John Henry Clark. You never understood Sheikh Anta Diop. I'm clear. Now, whether I agree with those writers now, I'm clear on what they meant universally. You're having my bad, Brass. I'm tripping. The fuck? So I just got questions. Now, for that's the question. But even if you felt that way, even if you feel that way now, it's impossible for me to believe you felt that way when you were reading Chancellor Williams and Dr. Ben and them, when you were learning and learning about African culture and history and stuff, reading Chancellor Williams and Dr. Ben and them, you understand. So you didn't understand what they meant by black. You wasn't using it the same way they was? Or you completely missed that? Or you disagreed with them back then? You know what? I just got questions. You did. So we move in conversations. We move, right? We move around. We learn more information. You feel me? But Chief X, you have to be honest when you move. Because I just got questions. I remember when you tried to say the Egyptians came out of the Middle East. You said it. You did a whole show on it, right? It was actually correction of you that made you say they're African. And you say they African now. You do. You took that information and it made you better. But you have moved, right? But what made you think in the first place that they wasn't African? It was your misperception. It was your lack of information. It was you don't read enough. You read, Chief X, to argue. You just read to argue. You don't read a lot in these conversations for information, right? Because your general information, right? And even this goes for Unc also, right? Your general information would be higher, right? Your general information. A lot of times, I stay afloat in it. I don't read all of that shit y'all did, the papers and all of that. But I read enough and I have enough general knowledge and information where I can kind of see where y'all, because that general information ain't there to ground y'all, right? Y'all just reading to argue or to prove a point when you don't got the general information, right? Basic concepts, you know, basic concepts, right? For me, if you're arguing about Egypt and the Sudan and all of these places, right, then you should have a good working understanding, at least, of the geography, and that goes for both of y'all. Y'all shouldn't be getting tripped up on the basic geography of the places that y'all arguing over. Like, you should be able to picture it. It should be so in at least the basics of the geography, the shape of these countries, right? Even the shape of the Nile going through these countries, that shit should be ingrained in your general knowledge. When we mention certain cities and locations, a picture, a geographic map picture should pop in your head. You should be able to locate that in your mind's eye. I don't see that in y'all. The general shape of Africa should be ingrained in y'all heads. 54 countries. You should at least have a working understanding of the position of those countries, right? Within Africa, you should you should have that working for you, right? If somebody asks you, where's Kenya at? You should know East Africa. You dig what I'm saying? You should be able to picture Ethiopia and picture Kenya connected to it. You should have the general shape of these countries. You should already, you dig what I'm saying? You should understand the outline of Asia right next to it. You should understand how Southern Europe hangs over the top of North Africa, right? How close Spain touches it. Damn near touches Africa. You feel me? You should see this. You should be able to picture Portugal, right? Then Spain, right? And then France, right? You should be able to see Italy coming down. You should be able to picture this thing. That whole working framework. But see, y'all just read to argue. It's just read and argue because simple questions shouldn't throw you off. So I got questions. Chief X, why would you think that the Egyptians came out of motherfucking Mesopotamia? You did a whole video on that. See, and this was 4 years into the argument, Chief X. You made that mistake 4 years into the black Egyptian argument. You made that mistake after Egypt debunked. Remember your great piece, Egypt debunked. How could you make a definitive video on your stance on Egypt in the Black Egypt conversation, right? Is Egypt debunked, right? That's your, I even made the thumbnail for you, Chief X, for Egypt, was it Black Egypt debunked, the final nail. After that, so you deep into the conversation, years in, how do you make the mistake of believing, not saying this was your belief after Egypt debunked? You said that the Egyptians came out of Mesopotamia. That means that the basic general information of the subject is not there. That's what that means. For me, that's just, that's the question that pops into my head. So we 6 years into arguing. Motherfuckers don't know where the Egyptians came from. 6 years in. Niggas don't know where the Egyptians came from. Niggas can't point to certain Egyptian cities on the map. Like, can't picture it as fuck. But then people will tell us to go read a scientific paper or journal. I don't, listen. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to talk to you niggas. Trust me. Y'all get them dudes in the chat to go pull up a scientific. Haskell was on the other night and he ran Corey all around Mulberry Bush about reading the 2017 Suleiman paper. We've been talking about the 2017 Suleiman paper for 6 years, and I haven't read that shit yet. I don't plan on it. Then they told, man, you gotta read the Nurat, the Nurat. You gotta read the Nurat. If I didn't read the Suleiman, fuck make you think I'm gonna read the Nurat? See how honest I am? See how honest I am? Most of the time I'm listening to y'all, right? I'm playing video games. So when y'all putting sources up and saying go read that, my hands never leave the controller. I haven't pulled up one thing y'all told me to pull up in the last 6 years of this argument. I'm playing Call of Duty. Oh my God. Y'all is insane. Most of y'all don't even read y'all gas and electric bill. And that's only 2 pages. Most of y'all haven't read y'all whole gas and electric bill, the 2 pages, right? In the last 20 years. But you niggas has got, you will get me to believe that you're reading a 15-page NORAD paper and study. Nigga, you don't even know if your light's gonna be on next month. You don't, you just look at the amount your gas and electric say and you pay that shit. You don't pull the 2 and 3 pages out and read it and seeing whether the rates are going up, and y'all niggas don't do that. But y'all reading the 2017 Schuleman. The 2017, Haskell said, hey, did you read the Schuleman? I've never read the Schuleman. Everything I know about the Schuleman, I learned it from Haskell. You know that, Haskell? Haskell, you my teacher. Everything I know about the NORAD paper, I learned that from Sosa, right? Sosa and Unc read that shit. They went online, they talked about it. I said, okay, now I understand. That's all I need to know about it. You know what I mean? You niggas are insane. You niggas are insane. Indigenous. I seen you on, I do give you credit. I seen the show that you did on Sinetta. When the next time you going on Sinetta? Because I might got some questions for your black ass next. Because you talk a lot of shit in that chat. You talk a lot of shit. So for now on, I'm not arguing with y'all. I just got questions. Just got questions. You dig? Just got questions. That's right, Reggie. The sea levels was lower and everything. You dig what I'm saying? So the distance, from North Africa to the tip of Spain was definitely more shallow and closer. I think it's only like 90 miles distance with a larger coastline, more coastline being visible, right? So you could damn near hug the coastline of North Africa, and damn near 90 miles out during the Ice Age, you could be in Southern Europe, right? Within a couple hours, right? Very, very short distance. That's a very short distance. I agree, Reggie. Oh, you want the link, Reggie? I ain't gonna be here long. I don't know where Brad said. I sent them the link. He supposed to be my co-host. But I'm back at work, y'all. I went to work today for the first time this week. No, see, and I don't show sources, right? I'm not the source man. See, this is just general information that I have. See, I got it on dial plate. If y'all don't believe it, look it up. Say I'm wrong. I'm not going to make you read it. Bro, I'm just giving y'all my general information that I have accumulated over my 40-something years. You know? Ain't that deep. You ain't got to read a 30-page paper for that. Matter of fact, Google it. Google it. You know? So I just got questions for everybody. That's it. You know? But the whole thing with, you know, there was a reason why people used race, right? Race in the 20th century meant a lot. Even though Unc is trying to dismiss it, nowadays I think he's doing a disservice to the good work that Dr. Ben and them did put in by dismissing race, right? I think you kind of dismiss or you kind of diminish the good works that that Diop and Van Sertima and them and John Henry Clark and them put forth, right? Because a lot of the stuff they were fighting against people saying because of our phenotype, right? That people who had our phenotype were not were inherently Reggie connection is bad, y'all. Reggie got like the worst connection in Brooklyn. Turn YouTube off, Reggie. Turn YouTube off, Reggie. This guy got the worst connection in Brooklyn. What's up?
Hey, well, I think you're doing a good job. And you're right to have questions, and you're right to point out the fallacies. And I know for a fact that people say that they read, and they really don't read, right? I know that for a fact, and I just smile, right? And a lot of the points on so-called Black Egypt, right? Indigenous Black man would say it's his points, but a lot of the
Everything
points,
is his point.
yeah, a lot of the points on the issue is my points. People can remember me 8, 9 years ago arguing with Netta Neb. Well, Netta Neb was leading it against Asar Hotep, and that's when the conversation began. You remember that?
Netta Neb says that that Kemet means black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was arguing that against Asar because Asar was saying that it meant riparian at that time, right? And I was backseating Ned and Neb, um, nevertheless, and I was arguing against the whole Amin Ra squad. Well, was it the Amin Ra squad then? Yes, it was the Amin
It
Ra
was the
squad.
Almond Raw Squad. Hmm.
Ankh wasn't really involved in the conversation until later. Then, roughly in 2019, there was a conference in ASCAC, and I asked ASCAC if they could debate the question, and Dr. Mario Beatty said yes. And so we put together a panel, uh, and ultimately, Ankh couldn't make it, Neb couldn't make it, Sanjay made it. Um, yeah, and so Asar made his presentation. Uh, I made my presentation first, then Asar, then Dr. Mario Beatty, and then in the small rooms, because okay, let me say, on the big stage, it was myself, Asar, and Dr. Mario Beatty. On the little rooms, it was Sanjetti, right? They were going to put them in the little rooms to have the conversation, but uh, Ned and Neb didn't come, so I was the head person on that side. Um, Still at that time period, in Ankh, and so I worked with Ankh, and we wrote an abstract to get him on the panel, right? But Ankh wrote what he wrote, and I just edited and got it done. Okay. Um, but today I'm just so surprised at all the things that I hear. I'm sorry. I have to apologize about the way that I talk. I'm not charismatic, right? So almost every show, except for yours, for the most part, I get cut off, right? But what I do find is a lot of people regurgitate my points, right? Now, the issue with Black Egypt, we have to start at the UNESCO conference. And what is problematic is that most people have not ever read the final report. The final report is 102 pages, 102 pages. And in that final report, right, this was a different time period where, believe it or not, people in UNESCO were still believing in this white Egypt. Diop and Obenga was arguing contra to that, right? They was making fun of that, right? And they was bringing out points. Very few people have actually, uh, besides Sonoran and Diop and Obenga, most people don't know the panel. So what I could quickly show you, because Chef, I know you don't how can I say, you don't have to you don't you're doing what you do, right? You're just asking the questions. So let me go and try to find this report real quick. I just had it up. I don't know what happened. Oh, let me just do this. Maybe it'll pop up. Um, yeah, here it goes right here. Okay, here it goes right here. And let's bring up the other. Let me see if I can bring up the Zoom because I lost the Zoom. All right. And I don't know what the Zoom is. Okay, so there's the Zoom. Okay, so okay, great. So let me see if I can share screen. Great. Okay, so first of all, Chef, let's just do this. I am closer to academia on YouTube than all of these people, every single one of them, right? Um, I write papers. The paper that I've already written UNESCO to request UNESCO for an errata on Dr. Sonoran's paper. So I wrote it maybe a week ago, and so now I'm waiting for a reply from UNESCO to see if they want to write a errata. I'm also going to publish a paper. Um, uh, I'm going to publish it, I think, maybe tomorrow, if I can. Um, that is going to go into repository to be peer reviewed. I've already published my syncretism as a means and method for actually translating Kemetiu. And I published that in 20, roughly, I don't know, 20, no, somewhere about 20, this is 2026. I published that about 2022, something like that. I published it up there in a repository. So if you Google Kemet and Kemetiu, you will see my article. So that means my article is part of the literature review for people talking about the subject. And and so and I have about 4 citations to that.
Have you ever presented that to an Egyptologist?
Uh, um, the yes, I presented it at ASCAC, and so ASCAC has several people who are Egyptologists. And my newest paper, I presented it to Dr. Vanessa Davies, Dr. Georges Seats, and Dr. and Brother Baba Bonacci, and Jenamonk Hekare, who's also in the school. So I presented my newest paper to 2 European descent Egyptologists, and to see if my arguments were plausible. My peer review paper, is up for all scholars to take a look at it. And if you can go on ChatGPT, and I will come up on ChatGPT. So I'm one of the few people who have a paper that will come up on ChatGPT or AI. So most of the arguments to me are just regurgitative, no original scholarship, no original research, just their ideas that won't go further than YouTube, right? So um, what I was going to do is share the
So
screen.
what's been the reception of your of what you then put forth? Like,
I have a three, I have 4 citations, meaning 4 people use my work in either, um, yeah, in their work, whether there are, their publications.
so how hard and long do you be working on these ideas?
Um,
Because I
well,
don't want to be dismissive. Like, how
no,
long do it take?
um, um, years. My article, I took a year to actually write that article, a whole year to write that article, the 25-page paper. And my newest article that I'm trying to publish tomorrow, I've probably spent about, uh, in this one, 3 or 4 months, but it's a narrow question. I can talk about that, but it's basically revisiting UNESCO's 1974 conference only on Dr. Sonaran, Dr. Diop, and Dr. Obenga's exchange, right? So that took me about 3 or 4 months, and that in that 3 or 4 months, I sent it to Dr. Vanessa Davies just to see if it's plausible, and George Steets of Egyptomaniac.gr. So while I'm arguing on YouTube, sometimes wasting my ideas, I just want to really wasting my sometimes wasting my time. I just want to see what's out there. But um, I okay. So here is the people in the you see my screen?
I'm getting it now.
Okay, and then let me just tell you some other things. The Shooterman Report, I was one of the first to put it on YouTube. to review it. Um, the whole genome study, I was the first person to go over it, and when the book came out of the linguist, I'm thinking about a lot of things, so I can't think of his name. I was definitely the first person to review it on YouTube. Jabari comes later and says he teaches it in his class, but we never heard that. So here is of the final report. Here is the people who discussed. Generally, these were the participants who discussed it. So you see Diop is here. You see Obenga is here. You see Sonoran is here, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
all these other people that were really important to the discussion was Jay Veracota and Abdullah, right? Professor Abdullah. And those were the big conversations. But Professor Jay Veracota, he was very important to that conversation. Some of the things that Ankh says about what the final decision is,
Mm-hmm.
um, I respect his opinion, uh, but it does not necessarily coincide. For example, they did use the word indigenous, but they did conclude that it was an African civilization. But they didn't conclude that it was an indigenous African civilization. What they concluded was it was an African civilization that borrowed from several places. Culture, right? On One of the things that was discussed was, um, of course, with Diop and Obenga, linguistically and some anthropology, right, on whether or not the ancient Egyptians were black. Now, given that time, you have to understand that there were large groups of people in this discussion that believed in a white Egypt or a Caucasian Egypt. Chief X is wasting his time because the UNESCO conference in '74 already declared that it was an African civilization, and it wasn't a Mediterranean or Caucasoid, right? So with Chief X is fooling you, he's not well read.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's fooling you. So these are if you can see my screen, I don't know if you can
Yes,
see my.
it's sharing. Everybody is watching.
Okay. So what a lot of people do is they go and they
So
hear
hold on.
stuff.
So you said, all right, Chief X is wrong because of the conclusion is that it's not Mediterranean.
Yes.
And you said that UNC is overstating UNESCO's position
Yeah.
on it being
Unc's
strictly
position
indigenous. Go ahead.
remember, he's pushing scientific literacy and
So
he's
so is
pushing.
he using new information to
Mhm.
to try? Does it seem like he's using his current information to and saying that this old 1974
Right.
paper is saying what the new information is saying? Is he kind of
Well,
conflating those two together?
yes,
Okay.
to me, he's conflating his own ideas, right?
Over this work.
Right. So
Okay.
anytime he talks about evolution, this paper doesn't talk much about evolution. This paper is specifically about the peopling of Nile Valley of Egypt. So they are not going as far as he is going.
Right.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is what the paper concluded, right?
Yes, sir.
And so this discussion is 102 pages just on this discussion, right? So um, him narrowing it down is good for his work, but my work is a little bit much more wider than his work, right? So Ankh doesn't believe again that ancient Egyptians used that term black because it's racial. He believes, of course, that Black Americans are black. You pointed out that he did used to say Black African power, so he's kind of and people have a right to change. He changes, right?
Mhm.
So um, yeah, so, and some of these people who are scientists and all of this stuff, you find them. I mean, not scientists, but science literate, who don't really know necessarily history. They, you know, you see them saying that they're FBAs, right? Which is stupid, because I don't care if you black and you got a PhD and you saying you FBA, you are stupid, because the FBAs are all dead. The foundational Black Americans are all dead. The ones that had anything to do with the slave trade and anything shortly after, that built this country, right? In this
Mhm.
in uh, involuntary labor, right? They and so those people are all dead. So if you're going to call yourself a foundational Black American, you even Tariq Nasheed, when you went over his webpage, he said he's a descendant of the foundational Black Americans. Like Ados is a descendant uh, of the of the slave trade,
Mhm.
an American descendant of slavery, right? You're a descendant. So anybody who's saying that they're ADOS or FBA is not scientific, because they're all dead. You didn't. Now then you hear people like Sanchez saying it's our blood. We the same people because of our blood. But the blood don't think. The blood don't labor. The blood don't scream in horror, right? The blood is not disenfranchised, discriminated against. So I don't. And then all the blood, right? What about the bad actors? Why are you only looking at the good actors? What about the blood of the rapists, the murderers, the killers, the black slave owners, right? The black Christians that converted black folks, who created classes within our own. So they're not scientific. I got a degree in computer science, um, but I also have a honors award in Black Studies, right? So I have an honors award. I went to the honors ceremony, and I have an honors award in Black Studies. And where I wanted to make my living was technology, so that was my major. I have there wasn't a lot of Black computer scientists or people passing that course, that curriculum at my time. So I graduated in 1988 with a degree in computer science. And unlike a lot of other people, um, they didn't work at all in their field. My first job was at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture of the New York Public Library, where I was fusing library science with technology and training scholars like Dr. James Turner and others on how to use the computer. Now, that's not really science oriented, because that's more like technology and training. But my science background allowed me to create a space in which they could learn, and then also I was programming. So that's part of the science. So I was working on a database. I was creating databases for them, and then I left that, and then I worked 16 and a half years in a law office in Harlem, right? And their their work was public defenders, and I was their IT director, roughly 10 years. The first 6 years, I was underneath the several bosses in technology, and then they handed it over to me. I passed university physics. I passed university math, calculus, differential equations, Boolean algebra, right? Binary options. I passed university biology, chemistry, biology, physics. So I I I am more than scientific literate, right? I passed the test. I respect anybody pushing scientific literacy. I respect them, but I passed the test. So now what I wanted to say about this paper is I showed you all of the participants. I'm
Right. So
gonna
which one? So yeah, I'm glad you got back to that. So you're saying that the that the conclusion of this paper, right? Because none of us have. Well, I haven't read it, right? And
yes, yes,
I don't think most of us have read it, right?
yes,
I know most of my audience haven't read it, right?
yeah.
So, but we do listen to Brother Unk, and Brother Unk say that this paper, you know what I mean, he give claims about this paper. Now, I never read it. So you saying that all of the claims that's made about this paper wasn't made, so
Mm.
you saying that they, so what
Mm. I'll
definitive
show you in a,
conclusions did they come? All right, go ahead.
yeah, I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so UNESCO on the 1974 symposium has several um, papers that you see online. The the paper that I am drawing your attention to is the final report. So the paper by Mokhtar, who was Dr. Zahi Hawas's predecessor,
Yeah,
right?
what? No, I thought so. When I read it, I thought, what was he from Senegal too?
No, Mokhtar was Egyptian. He was Dr. Zahi Hawas's boss.
Oh, but the guy that was over top of the whole um
No, Mokhtar.
project was over top of the whole project of the what you
mm,
call the general history of Africa. This came out of
No,
the general
yeah,
history of Africa, right?
well, no, that's okay. So there's a newer one, but the 1974 symposium, Mokhtar was the chair. Mokhtar was the chair of the symposium.
No, not the symposium. I thought I thought the symposium came from the
Mm.
out of a disagreement that happened in the general history of Africa.
The series is the general history of Africa.
Right. So stick with me. So they was right in the general history of Africa, right? UNESCO paid, they wanted Africans to write the history or participate in the writing of the history of Africa, right?
That's
So the guy who headed that, he was from Senegal also, right?
um okay, so here is okay, so
Muhammad, what was his name? It wasn't Mokhtar?
no, see the point is okay,
Muhammad something.
you could be the chairman, right? And you could be the chairman, but the participants, those people who argued, and these are the people who argued, and Mokhtar was the person who compiled. He's the overseer of the project,
Okay. So I
right?
might be getting somebody mixed up. But back to this. So
Okay,
it was the general history of Africa, right?
that's UNESCO has several series.
Right.
So
And the
yes,
argument that they called this symposium because an argument happened with writing the general history of Africa. This is my understanding of it. This
okay,
symposium didn't come out of
okay, then
thin
help
air.
me
It was
out.
they was writing the general history of Africa, and then an argument had broke out with the section on Egypt and the Egyptian portion of the history, right? And because Diop and them was making claims, right, that the other people didn't agree with, so they did a symposium on that part. That's my understanding of it.
Okay,
But you
well,
might have a different one. Go ahead.
yeah, I have to pay. I have to. What I did was I showed you, for example. Okay, so here is the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, International Scientific Committee for the drafting of a general history of Africa,
Yes.
right? So they knew that there were several arguments out there. So UNESCO decided to convene a general history of Africa.
Right.
And this symposium was on the peopling of ancient Egypt and the deciphering of the Meroitic script, which was the most controversial of the issues,
So
right?
no. Yeah. So what happened? This is what happened. When they submitted their writings, there were the other participants had disagreements with Diop and them. That's
There may
why the
have been
symposium,
preliminary.
huh?
Yeah, see, there may have been some preliminary discussion as to what they're going to discuss about, right? But ultimately, that doesn't matter because they held the okay, so Mr. M. Jabeli, speaking on behalf of the Director General of UNESCO, emphasized in his opening address the important place occupied by Egypt in the current UNESCO project for a general history of Africa by virtue both of Egypt's historical and cultural ties with the rest of Africa and the fact that Dr. Gamal Mokhtar was a member of the international scientific community responsible for the scientific supervision of the drafting and the editor of Volume 2 of the General History of Africa. He reminded the meeting that UNESCO's object in the project was to present a new picture on the history of the peoples and of the continent of Africa through the use of new methods of approaches, analysis, and interpretation. So there were always arguments prior. UNESCO picked it up and they said, well, let's do it, right? So now the symposium elected the following officers: the chairman, Professor Gamal Mokhtar; the chairman, Theophilo Banga; the reporter, I guess, Professor Jean Davy of France. The agenda was adopted after a number of amendments have been made to it. So this is where they are kind of trying to figure it out. And they divide the work into three stages. This comes from the planning, right? A presentation by Professor J. Vercoda and Mrs. Blano on their respective introductory papers, communications by a number of other participants, general discussion along lines suggested during the two previous stages. So, boom, now we have papers. They did a call for papers, right? And so they know who the panelists are and they're selected. And so now they're ready to get down, right? And deal with the issues. So I haven't seen anybody actually deal with the final report, and um, it's lengthy, and I'm not going to do it all tonight, and because you got to go to work, right? So this is the process. So I hear what you're saying, but I'm reading the record. Even if of course Diop had written his
I don't
African,
understand how you don't know this stuff.
how I don't know this.
Yeah, see,
You haven't proved to me.
so now I'm about to have the same questions for you that I have for Chief X and Unc.
Yes,
Because if you're talking about the symposium, you have
yes.
to know why the symposium was called in the first place.
I just read it.
Yeah, but you act like you're in some type of disagreement with it was because it was a disagreement over the Egyptian section of the general history of Africa. They had basically they let or they I apologize for saying they let, right? They didn't let Diop
I
in
know,
them.
but you, I
They
mean,
they they called them in because the world body wanted to be fair to Africa and let Africans have a voice in writing their own history, right?
no, no, well, no. See, well, here's the thing is, in the first, sorry, in I guess the second, the second volume, they may have had more of a discussion, but they didn't the criteria and methodology was increased in this particular symposium. This is right now what you're trying to do is you're trying to add maybe why. And what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to get you to the final report.
No, I agree. I agree
Okay.
that the final report, but it was a report. The report was coming out of what body of work? It was the general history of Africa.
Right, that this is part of the general history of
Yes,
Africa.
sir. Okay, go ahead.
Right? And in this particular case, they have heard everybody, and they did a call for papers, right? And they selected the people that I named, and the major papers, the major person, the big dog was Professor Vercoder, right? Um, and this is and so they use largely Professor Vercoder's comments or statements to begin this process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is where they go. Um, okay, so let me just do C first, and then I'll go back. C, outline of the two opposing theories in their most extreme form. The people who lived in ancient Egypt were white, even though their pigmentation was dark or even black as early as pre-dynastic periods. Negroes made their appearance only from uh, the they say the 28th dynasty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Onwards, right? Well, it should be the 26th dynasty. But from the proto-dynastic period onwards, according to some, the population remained the same. Others believe that foreign penetration into Africa profoundly altered the conditions of cultural life, right? And two, ancient Egypt was peopled from its Neolithic infancy to the end of the native dynasties by Black Africans. So whatever happened prior, this is what Dr. Van Coder is going to deal with. This is the people who lived in Egypt were white, even though the pigmentation was dark. That goes from Reisner and Petrie and all of the other groups of people, but they were white, even though their pigmentation were dark or even black as early as the pre-dynastic period, right? From the 28th dynasty, right? And then the second proposition that they was arguing was ancient Egypt was peopled from its Neolithic infancy to the end of the native dynasties by Black Africans, right? So there was um, on this maybe there was like 6-2, right? And then they suggested the lines of inquiry and topics for discussion, right? Before defining the characteristics of a mixed population in Egypt, if mixed, it was uh, it was essential to reach an agreement on the meaning of the terms used. So they tried to talk about Negro, Negroid, Hamite. Those were the words at that time. In the case of the ancient Egypt, Professor Ricardo considered incorrectly to speak either of a white population, the existence of which had already been ruled out by anthropological research findings. So in 1974, Chief X is wrong.
The white was already ruled out.
Right, right. Or of a Negro population which could not be reconciled with Egyptian iconography, right? Particular attention should be paid to the transition from Paleolithic period to Neolithic period in Egypt. This was possible on the basis of new data. So in this conversation that I'm showing you right now, right? Um, Ngozi's work, uh, only part of it, uh, Ngozi and Gulla's only part of their work, uh, can they bring in because the DNA,
The
how can I
genome
say,
wasn't
the
mapped
fusion,
yet.
it wasn't there yet. Thank you so much. Right? So, so they can't overdo it. And the question is, when you ask Gullah or Ngozi, did they read the paper? And if they read the paper, when we're talking about the beginnings of the conversation, then we should just deal with what they talked about and what they concluded. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, it does. It does. I have no
Okay, thank
pushback.
you. So what they're doing, a lot of people are doing a lot of anachronistic kind of
Anachronistic.
anachronistic uh verbiage of bringing in modern stuff that that's their hobbies, right? All in it's their hobbies, and they're bringing it into as if it's stated fact, and it is not,
So
right?
why is not? Why? Hold on. So why is it not fact? If this report at this time didn't have that data and information,
Correct.
then right? But why would it? It
It's
doesn't
not
mean that,
relevant.
huh?
It's not relevant. It's only relevant
It
Ngozi and
informs.
yes, later.
Yeah, but it would give us a better lens on what they got
Later.
wrong in 1974. Or
Right.
it could
If we was
strengthen,
addressing,
hold on. It could either tell us what they got wrong or it could strengthen what they got right. It could do
yes,
both.
but it can do both. But with the way that they read it into the record is they are reading their modern conceptions with their hobbies into the record, right? Rather than reading what the record actually said. So
So you think
next,
this contradicts Gullah and Ngozis?
no, it doesn't. I'm
Okay,
just saying only part, like the cranial, right? Studies, it was at that time.
right.
Anthropological, other anthropological bone types, right? All of that stuff, linguistics, all of that stuff was
You got to
um
take it into account.
yeah, and
I
that's
agree. The DNA does not override all of the other physical data. I totally
yeah.
agree.
So in this context, in 1974,
No,
so
I'm
what
talking
they
about in any context. You know what I mean? The physical, listen, the other physical, that's just another element. So something, all right, so the blood can show you how diverse it was. It could give you another lens into the diversity.
they didn't have all the tools then in 1974. So
I know that. But now
blood
that
is
you
not
get
what
it,
they studied.
it doesn't mean that the people wasn't black, right? It just means that they might have a different genetic profile, or you might see linkages with other people, but it doesn't tell you how they physically look.
No, right,
Exactly.
but, right. But again, the whole human genome was not um, finalized at this period. So uh, it has nothing to do with this conversation. It has something to do with later conversations. That's just another lens that they're looking at. So Mrs. Blanc repeatedly stressed in this that it was important to approach the problem being discussed by the symposium without being influenced by the inheritance of the 19th century and the first half of the 20th, or the racial assumptions associated therewith. She also hoped that a plural disciplinary and interdisciplinary approach would be adopted at the ecological zones, which she distinguished called for the application of differing methods and disciplines. Neither archaeology alone, nor oral traditions alone, nor any other form of tradition sociologically, anthropologically, or historically inquiry could be expected in isolation to provide answers to its complex problems. So, so Mrs. Blanc is calling for a interdisciplinary conversation in 1974, right? So now remember, okay, uh, Diop had written his African Origin and Civilization in roughly 56. He probably got his PhD in 58, right? Um, uh, and Dr. Obenga was a linguist at this particular time, right? All going to French universities, their PhDs. Not many PhDs at this time could handle it. So they included Diop and Obenga because Diop was very forceful, right? So B, in order to escape from the traditional view of the Nile Valley, which traces historical development in a north-south direction, from the more civilized to the less civilized, Mrs. Blanc drew attention to the Nile region situated between the 23rd parallel and the sources of the river in Uganda. Her analysis took into account the dividing line, which she regarded as being a fundamental ecological importance, along the 10th parallel, where the advance of Islam stopped. Now, mind you, at this time period, they don't know anything, they don't know too much about the Green Sahara. They don't know too much. North Africa, as they saw it, belonged to the current people that were living there, the Berbers who were Islamized, right? So they didn't know too much about the Green Sahara. All the stuff that we talk about now, they don't know about, right? So what they're doing is they're talking about places that they know. And he says Darfur to the west, about the social and political organization, which prior to the 7th century, little was known, nevertheless played an important role. To the east, the region of Simnar, inhabited by the Funj, was the center of Black Sultanate, which was originally neither Arab nor Muslim, right? So what she's doing is they're beginning to read into the record what they know, right? So now they have preliminary statements by all participants, right? Because before they even, so they're setting up terms and definitions and areas of discussions, right? And so this is when you see uh, you see Professor Sav Soderberg, you see now Professor Shekanta Diop, right, from his point, um, and so they're laying out people's ideas, right, at this particular point. So my major point, okay, Professor Shinney, um, he had consulted a physical anthropology, right? So there uh, uh, Professor Shinney greatly regretted the fact that no physical anthropology specialist was present at the meeting, right? What do you say? The fact that classical authors referred to the Egyptians as black could not be invoked in as an argument. Why? Because it's oral. Professor Shinney regarded the concept of blackness as a very subjective matter and quoted the example, right, of British authors describing Egyptians as black in modern times. Such a description of the population of modern Egypt was no more valid than the description by Herodotus. So they're going through presentations and basic introductory conversations, right? And this is where it all, until the point that you want to ask, um, okay, Professor Gallup spoke of the successive elements which could be identified to the peopling of Africa between the Paleolithic period and the third millennium. He makes that statement. Professor Abdallah referred to a number of points arising from Professor Ricardo's report and Diop's statement. He did not think it's important to establish whether ancient Egyptians were black or Negroid. What was most remarkable was the degree of civilization that had achieved. So Professor Abdullah, who is uh, um, Islamic, and uh, and I think he's definitely from black. He doesn't want to even discuss he thinks discussing it as black is just stupid. Negroid is stupid, right? Um, he says physical anthropology has provided evidence concerning to the presence of black men in ancient populations, but it was going too far to generalize and say that this population was entirely black or Negroid. Why should it fit to be accepted that there was also Caucasians and white? Um, if not be accepted that there were also Caucasians and whites. An Africanist approach to these problems should be avoided. There is no escaping the fact that Egyptians detested the Nubians. So he wants to exclude some points, but he wants to bring in the fact that the Egyptians detested the Nubians. Now, um, uh, um, so I'm just showing you the nature of the arguments. Turning to the subject of linguistics, Professor Abdullah stated that Kim did not mean black. That's what Abdullah said. And its derivatives did not refer to the color of individuals. He gave a linguistic demonstration in turn to illustrate the theory, which differed from that of Professor Diop. He concluded that the Egyptian language was not a purely African language. This is Abdullah, right? It belonged to a Proto-Semitic group and could be abundantly demonstrated by supporting examples. So Abdullah believes that the Egyptian language was a Semitic group. He believes that of the proposition that that Egypt was populated by people, but he wants to disclude, he does not want to include the other arguments. So he's doing some real mumble jumble here. It belonged to a Proto-Semitic group and could be abundantly, he's using all these words that we use today when people talk loud by supporting examples. Professor Abdullah considered that the linguistic examples given by Professor Diop was neither convincing nor conclusive, and that it was hazardous to make too uncompromising a correlation between the language and the ethnic structure of an individual. A comparison drawn between a dead language and a living language was bound to be inconclusive. The similarities which had been pointed out were fortuitous, and nothing was so far known of the evolution of ancient African languages. Okay, so he's saying a lot of things that has been proven later completely wrong, right? And he's not even talking about Lilias Hamburger, who talked about African languages. She is where they get Negro Egyptian from, Lilias Hamburger. The evidence which had been given to support the theory of kinship was in fact far more consistent with the theory of the spread of ancient Egypt through Africa than of the kinship. So Abdullah becomes the major factor that causes this big conversation, because he's he is describing, or he's a hardline person on the old method. So he's very closed-minded, right? So, and these are his points, right? He considered it impossible establishing an automatic correlation between an ethnic group of social economic system and a language. It was impossible to reach scientific valid conclusions by working on a large scale. There was almost no ambiguous examples in history of major migrations accompanying major cultural transformation. Negro was not a clearly defined concept today. As far as a physical anthropologist was concerned, a skeleton did not provide evidence of skin color. Only the tissues in the skin itself was important in that respect. It was imperative to broach the study of paleontology and funeral practices without delay. Now, Professor Sonoran intervened in the course of a lively exchange of views on linguistic matters between Abdullah and Diop, right? Which they don't mention in this report for some reason, right? Except for what the claims that Abdullah was making. Professor Sonoran now jumps in and stated that Egyptian Kim, feminine Kemet, meant black. The masculine plural was chemo, phonetically chemio, and the feminine plural was Kemnet. The form Kemetiu could only mean two things: that of Kemet, those of Kemet, the inhabitants of Kemet, the black country. It was derived adjective nisba formed from a geographical term which had become a proper name. It was not necessarily felt with its original meaning. To designate black people, the Egyptians would have said Kemet or Kemi, not Kemetiu. In any case, they never used this adjective to indicate that black people of the African hinterland, whom they knew about from the time of New Kingdom onwards, nor in general did they use the names of colors to distinguish different peoples. So this is where most people know, right? And then it's Obenga's statements, which we never hardly ever hear about. Obenga criticizing Greenberg's method, right? Chef, this is all that we know, right? This is all we know. So when Abdullah was speaking, Diop and Obenga disagreed, and this was just only one part of this whole paper looking at other aspects, but this is the paper that we know. So here's the problem right here. Sonoran, let's look at what happened. Sonoran intervenes in the course of a lively exchange. Like we have these arguments here and somebody wants to tap in and stuff like that. And he made these statements. He says that in Egyptian Kem, feminine Kemet meant black. The masculine plural was Kemo, and the feminine plural was Kemnet, right? And then he criticizes the fact that they didn't use those terms. If it meant black people, they didn't use it. They didn't apply it to Nubians and other people. However, in my work is right here. Sonoran stated that in Egyptian Kem, feminine Kemet meant black, right? the masculine plural was chemo, and the feminine plural was chemnet. There is no word, the feminine plural or the collective noun is not chemnet. This is either an audio misstep or he was just wrong. But he did say chemo, right? Now, I don't want to go too much into my paper. I'll show you my paper at another point. What I want to do is just now stop, unless you have any questions. But this is all that we talked on YouTube about. We don't talk about everything else. So mind you, watch this. This is page 13, 12 and 13. All of the Black Egypt conversations that we hear about UNESCO is only on up to page 13. So whatever happened to the other 89, 90 pages? They didn't read it. None of them read it. None of them brought it up. Chief X certainly didn't read it, and Chief X would have been knocked out in the beginning, right? See, he just didn't read it. So now he comes and he thinks that our population is dumb, and he can, sip his whiskey and talk and said, nobody ever brought this up except for me. Well, I don't really have too much time to deal with Chief X. I did on Sonetta's show the other day where I tracked a lot of his missteps, and then the bomb squad came in. But generally, Sheffrin, the question is,
Yes, sir.
who has read the final report? And if they lie and say that they
I don't think nobody read it.
And if they try to lie and said they read it, how come they never brought up all the other things?
Right. And remember, we argued when it seemed like the first time we actually looked into it, we argued over one word for a whole month, which
Correct.
shows that the majority of people never even seen the document before. You feel me? What was the word that we argued over for 2 months? Was it what? It was, however, or what the fuck was it?
It was this over here for 2 months, right? The form Kemet to you could mean only two things. Those of Kemet, the inhabitants of Kemet, the Black country. It was derived from a Nisba, from a geographical term, which became a proper name. It was not necessarily felt. Then here's what we argue. To designate Black people, the Egyptians would have said Kemet or Kemu, not Kemetiu, right? In any case, they never used this adjective to indicate the Black people of African hinterland, meaning the Black people in the hinterland is, Sudan and stuff like that, the borders, right? Whom they knew about from the time of the New Kingdom onwards. Nor in general did they use the name of colors to distinguish different people. So the major thing that we argued for 2 months was this would have bullshit. Right? Now, the problem with this is you have to continue the story, right? And see when Sonoran pops up again. And what else does he say? So Sonoran does pop up, and he is the Egyptian grammar person, but Sonoran, he makes a major mistake. Either, watch this. I don't know if I want to go on this show because that's not what it is, right? But to answer your question is to designate Black people, the Egyptians would have said Kemet or Kimu, not Kemetiu. So Diop said that this word with the A1, B1, Z2 glyph, the people glyphs, Kim and the people glyphs, right? Meant Kemetiu, right? So Sonoran hopped on Diop on that Nisba word, Kemetiu. Kemetiu only appears maybe about 4 times in the 3,000 years of ancient Egyptian culture. So, but then what they were really arguing about is the charcoal, the half loaf, and the seated man and seated woman, and the plural. That, but what they did not show, believe it or not, was they did not show it. They just talked about it.
So you saying when he say that they would have used another form, you saying they didn't demonstrate that?
Um. Uh. uh
Or
okay.
you saying that they don't have the evidence to prove their point? Are
No,
you saying he's making this up?
no. I'm saying that it's the problem is if they would have showed the glyphs and they would have used proper grammar, they would have showed the A1B1 glyph uh, with the plural stroke. They would have never made it Chemnet. You see this word Chemnet?
Yeah, but so you saying you found them using the form that he said they didn't. Did you ever find it?
Yes, of course.
Get the
The
fuck out of
proper the
here.
proper word is not Chemnet. That's a mistype. It would have been Chem Wet, and Chem Wet would have satisfied Sonoron's needs to designate black people because he says it would have been Kemet or Kemu, but Kemu is the masculine form, not a collective noun. But that's my argument. You'll see it when my paper comes out.
Right.
You see it. But nevertheless, out of the 102 pages of this thing, our YouTubers only argue, right?
That little paragraph.
That little paragraph, right?
Yep.
So that's why, Chef, that's why we need you sometimes because you amaze me. You don't read, but you do comprehend, right? And that shit amazes me. But your profession is being in this in how can I say cosmetology? That's your profession, right? That's how you make your money. But you comprehend very well, even though because you listen to the arguments. So what I'm saying is, and I know indigenous black man is going to say is
He
these are
taught
his
you all
ideas.
this.
He taught me all this. This he said, right? But until somebody actually shows you what the problem is in our community, page 13, pages 12 and 13 is all that we have been freaking arguing about. A saw, right? A saw, everybody, right? They don't argue all this other stuff. They didn't even get to this, having this laid the foundation of this demonstration. Professor Obanga gave several sets of examples. Firstly, he examined important typological similarities in grammar, the feminine gender formed by the use of the suffix t, the plural of nouns of the suffix u, right? W, which is u and u, like Kimmel, right? He next analyzed the complete word forms and noted similarities between those of Egyptian and considerable. So what Obanga actually, all that he said is not here because he would have had to say that the feminine form of Kimmel would have been Kimwet. But he did not, it's not, it may have been here, but it's not, it does not appear. So that is the problem. Then he goes into Bantu and Diab goes later into the Wolof stuff, right? But Sheffrin, the jig is up on your show.
Yeah, I don't think they read. I think they read enough just to get in the arguments.
Yeah, it's just YouTube because the jig is up because now see okay, so here's the guidelines. Okay, Chef, you're in what is it?
Cosmetology.
Cosmetology, right? You have to pass tests, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? You have to stay up to date, right?
Yep.
You had to close your shop down during COVID,
Yep.
right? Then you had to, when you reopened it, you had to reopen it a certain way. You had to make
Under
some changes,
compliance
right?
with the new regulations.
With the new regulations. Okay, in YouTube, we ain't got to do that shit. We ain't got to pass no tests. And then the people who pass tests, right? Now, the people who pass tests, they get hushed up through charismatic people, right? Now, I give credit to Ankh, right, for trying to help our people understand these terms. I give credit to Ngozi for his modern understanding of DNA. I think he does better. He does real good. Gullah also, right? But that's modern. That has no place in this Diop. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's no place in that unless they're speaking what these people said. And the only thing that they talk about is Diop, Obenga, and Sonoran. Press 2 in the chat if you never heard them talk about anybody else in this UNESCO except for Diop, Obenga, Sonoran, Abdullah, and maybe Makhdar. So if they didn't talk about the other people, they never read the damn document.
Facts.
Right? And so I don't want to it's getting late, 1:40, you got to go to work, right? And how can I say you got to be about your senses.
So what is the implications of being 6 years into the Black Egypt argument and never have read this paper? Like what does that mean to you? Like if we're 6 years into a Black Egypt debate, and from all of our evidence, right, it doesn't
stop sharing my screen so I can talk
okay.
to you. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen if I can. How you do this? Okay, and we could talk about the implications, and then we could talk about more. So let me see if I can stop sharing my screen. You stopped it for me, right?
Yeah, you just stop it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so
well, Chef, that's why, Chef, I'm on your show. Because see, on the other shows, right, it's more control. People start making noises. People start cursing people out. People start doing this. If Chief X never pulled up the final report, whatever he says is irrelevant because they already discounted him. So now, by tomorrow, watch this. By tomorrow night, everybody would have read it. They would have dug it up, and then they would have read it, and then they would become experts, right? But the 6 years or 8 years that we've been talking about this shows how stupid we are. How experts can't take us serious, right? And then someone like me who have read this, right? And I have participated in the what I know, which is some of the grammar arguments, and then going over and rereading and finding out exactly. Well, Sonoran actually agrees with Cheikh Anta Diop. And he said to designate Black people, you would have used Kemet or Kimmel, right? Mm-hmm. Then we went through this whole thing of looking at Kimmel. So on Smasher Show, we spent a long time looking for Kimmel. Well, Kimmel could be a personal name for a man, right? We didn't do any work on Kimnet because simply Kimnet is not an Egyptian word. For the purposes of this, it's not an Egyptian word. Nobody says that it's an Egyptian word. So it was a mistype. Now, some of UNESCO may have been like some of our shows that want to drag an issue over, but they dragged the issue from 1974 damn near to 2026, which is damn near 50 years or so, right? Something like 50 years. So now, but a person like myself, I just have different training, right? So myself is going to say, okay, Sheffrin, you got him, right? You got him. You got him because they never brought out any of the shit that's in this paper. So now you don't have questions because I answered your questions. Now you know enough to say, y'all full of shit, right? We've been listening to you for goddamn 6 or 7, 8 years, right?
So is this
Now,
why they couldn't get nowhere in the conversation?
yes,
Okay.
because what they're doing is reading in what they know, what they think they know into this conversation. So, um, again, of course, I have always favored Onk's argument to argue about,
But
right?
see, no, but Unc's argument, if you take the black out, like, it, if you take the black out, then it neuters Diop in them's position. You can't on one hand say you agree with Diop in them, right? And then take out the most potent part of their argument. Like that's because now with the genetics, they say that anybody can be African, right? So the African part is not the most salient point if they saying that the Arab looking motherfucker or the people who we thought used to be invaders, that they could be just as indigenous African as then it neuters the reason why they said the Egyptians wasn't black is because of the racial hierarchy of things, saying that black people wasn't capable of even building a civilization like that. So you gotta know Diop and them was fighting racialized tropes, right? Not that it's just a generic African, right? That wouldn't make sense, right? Because if you say, okay, well, Africans do got culture and stuff, but it's only a particular type of African. They still saying that my type of African ain't shit. So it still leaves black position. And I don't think Diop and them was fighting to leave what I call, or what they were calling black people in a vulnerable position. That don't even make sense.
Right. Okay, let me share this again. I'm gonna share this. So I'm gonna show you. I'm also showing you what also was in the stupid in the conversation, right? And these are white folks with PhDs. Professor Davies, did you put it up? Yeah. Now this is the bullshit. Professor Davies, right? I think you got it too large, or I got it too large.
No,
Do I
it's
got
perfect. No, it was perfect.
it was perfect?
Yeah, blow it back. Well, yeah.
Okay, so Professor Davies briefly abandoned his role as rapporteur to inform the symposium of the unexpected results of an iconography study, right? So now they want to they want to do the shuffle, right? 3 manuscripts included representatives of Black Egyptians, which merited detailed consideration. After eliminating what could be attributed to biblical tradition, the descendants of Ham, and allegory representatives of a consciously archaic manner, Hades night, there remained a viable proportion of Egyptians represented with Negro features and coloring. Admittedly, some of these were servants, but on this point, the scenes selectively were extremely interesting. Others were free Egyptians. Some of them, about a third of these participants, was around the table of Joseph, who was given a banquet for his Israelite brothers seated at another table. Others were taking part in the sale of Joseph and Potiphar, who was himself represented as white. Probably the most remarkable aspect of these representations, which were consistently realistic in their details, lay in the characteristics costumes worn by these Black Egyptians, particularly in 11th century, right? The Negroes who were clearly differentiated from Egyptians, wearing beards and turbans, were in many cases carrying spears and wore panther skins, leaving the right shoulder bare. Professor Davies considered these observations all the more interesting because there were considerable contacts between Byzantine and Egypt during the Fatimid period and other and because of the representatives which dated from the period were far more realistic than older manuscripts. I'll stop sharing. My point is, is a lot of where they want to weed out, watch this, where they want to weed out the character stuff, right? And the old stuff, they bring the shit right back in. You saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they want to look at the art. Now they want to say that these people were servants, that the other people had beards, as if the Egyptians did not wear false beards. Then they want to talk about the Byzantine period, I guess the Coptic period, that the other people, the Nubians, were wearing spears and had panther skins, as if the ancient Egyptians did not have. You don't see them with panther skins, and you don't see them with other primitive weapons like bows, like what do you call it?
Maces.
Maces, right? Yeah,
Throwing
basically
sticks.
throwing sticks, right? And so that's the bullshit. So you want to weed out. You want to now this is a scientist talking. And then dude's talking about the table of Joseph and his Israelite brothers. And then you want to talk about Joseph and Potiphar. So you want to bring in the Bible. Then he went. So while this scientific stuff is supposed to be going on, right? Now you have the BS seeping back in, right? And this is the problem. This was Dr. Diop's problem because they're coming up with random arguments out of off topic, right? And they keep having these discussions, getting it all out, right? And then hiding their hand with science, right? So so Chef, the major point of this is we can do another show when you want to, because listen, you're not what you're concerned about is not all this data. What you are really concerned about, right, is 8 years people have been arguing and have never brought up these points. And I could tell you, I read Ehrman's book when it first came out online. The Schunemann, I analyzed. The Nuiwat, I analyzed, right? I write papers. I put belt to ass, pause, right? Because the difference is what I find is trying to do real research, and it's my hobby. I'm not being paid for this bullshit. My Cash App wallet is dry. But other people get up and say the most fantastic bullshit and yeah, dropping bombs all day, but dry ass Reggie Kits up here. But the one thing I could do for you, Sheffrin, is bullshit.
My man.
And guess what? I'm only on page now 15. So I just read 14. So we have been at best talking about 2 pages of the whole goddamn report for 6 to 8 years, where people want to sound. Now, to Asar and Hotep's credit, he could write his ass off. Doesn't mean it's right. This dude could write a 200-300
It don't mean it's
book.
right, but it looked good. It don't mean it's right, but it looked good.
But it's not in any. So we can do an exercise. Pull up your pull up ChatGPT. Let's do an exercise.
ChatGPT.
I'm sorry, I don't know why my face is so big. My camera just kills me, boy. Whatever I do.
What kind of camera is it?
And listen, Chef, I'm getting older, and it's so funny. I look a lot like this by just aggravation of having these goddamn arguments and other things in life, right? And so I'm very always concerned about my appearance, because I used to be fly. And I'm like, Wow. So now I'm in my scholastic mode. So you share the screen and put up ChatGPT.
Oh, I can't do it. You got to do it.
Oh, you can't? You can't do it? Pull up ChatGPT. I got the cheat ChatGPT, but I'm gonna pull up the cheat ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT. I have other tools. Okay, well, Sheffrin,
I
in
use
college,
Gemini.
I
I
took
use Gemini now.
you use Gemini? Okay, so
Hmm.
let me see if I can use Gemini. But that's a cheap one too.
Gemini cheap.
Well, to use Gemini, there's a paid version
I
of
got the
Gemini.
paid version. I got the pro, and I got the paid version of Chat GPT. I pay for both
O-
of them because I
Okay,
like to use Gemini because I use Notebook LM a lot, right? So I'll take my
okay.
PDFs and put them into Notebook LM.
What PDFs of your work, right?
Huh?
Of your cosmetology, right?
No, well, these topics that we talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll,
So now,
I'll I'll get the relevant PDFs on it. I'll get the papers and I'll throw them in the notebook LM and create a notebook out of it. So all of the available information I need out of those texts, I can just pull straight from them.
okay.
You dig what I'm saying?
So
It works amazing.
okay. So the questions that okay. Um, I gotta be. I gotta be nice, right? Um. Okay. How do I want to do this? Uh. Okay. Um. Before I do me, I gotta do somebody. So pick
Oh, you
somebody.
got you got Gemini Pro too.
Yeah,
Mm.
because I pay for Google and yeah, I pay for whatever. So now anyway, so pick anybody cheap. Okay, uh there is a YouTuber called Chief X, right? Has Can you find anything that Chief X published, right? There's okay, so let's just see. I don't use Gemini that much, but I'm gonna use it tonight.
Yeah, Gemini work good. And Google is one of the largest search engines also. So,
Yeah.
you know what I
Okay.
mean?
There are a few content creators known as Chief X, Chief XD. No, that's not him. Um, Chief X Gaming. That's not him. City Chief.
No.
Okay, watch this. I'm talking about. I'm talking about Chief X, who appears on Sonetta Studios or House of Consciousness.
He done wrote 600 books. Watch. They gonna get him mixed up with
Oh, he has
polite.
a platform. Chief X has a platform, right? So this is I I'm disappointed with Gemini because it's slow. All right, you're likely Chief X, often styled the real Chief X, controversial debate and researcher within the Black conscious community. He is a frequent guest on platforms based on available. information. Chief X does not have a traditionally published book, such as one on Amazon or bookstores. His published body of work consists of digital content, lectures, and debates, right? And this is Chief X, right? This is Chief X. Summary, key arguments: reclassifying Black Americans, critique of Pan-Africanism, the Mongoloid versus Negroid distinction. Those are just some of them, right?
What?
So Chief X has no publications, right? Now there are a lot of people with publications, but they're pseudo publications.
It says
Right.
the Mongoloid versus Negroid distinction, using 19th century scientific racism terms to argue that the original Native Americans were Negroid and Chief X said that? No, sir.
Oh, okay. So wait, no. Let's see this.
Gemini fucking that up.
No. What show did he do?
That's definitely not something Chief X would do.
It depends because search engines go in your past really deeply.
And it's searching YouTube. That's where they pulling it.
Now, the first person who ever used ChatGPT in a debate was Uncle Kek against Sanchez, right? And I introduced ChatGPT to.
I ain't watched that shit. I ain't watched that shit.
Yeah, why should you?
A motherfucker
Okay.
debating flat Earth. That is insane.
Right. Okay, he frequently presents. So the source of material, the core of the presentations. Chief X uses the map from the 19th century to validate his claims. Can you give me a link? Can you provide a link to the show? So what Chief X will do is find something controversial, drink some whiskey, and come on and say this. I'm sorry to the audience, this ChatGPT, this Gemini is slow. It's not even answering the goddamn question.
That shit lied. That shit just lied on Chief X.
Okay, so it lied. Okay. But he says the most famous instance when he breaks down in detail his debate against Jabari or Sase. Best links to watch. Sonetta videos. So it lied on Chief X.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It lied on. So to me, this is not useful. That's why I would probably went to ChatGPT. So let me go to ChatGPT. My point is, I'm sorry, I'm dragging the show. My point is that this is a hobby for people, or it's a business when they have channels, something to talk about, right? But it's not. If you're not writing anything, if you're not writing anything, then what's the point? ChatGPT. So now I'm on ChatGPT. So maybe I can get something better, but I don't have the paid source. But so my whole point of it is in the so-called conscious community on YouTube, right? Which of the participants on House of Consciousness, Carnivorous Podcast, what's Ank's channel, Community of Skeptics, Pseudo Killers, Garth, Phil.
Killers
Lee?
is AS.
Huh?
Killers is AS, not ERS.
Garfield Reed podcast. Who else? What's another channel in the conscious community?
Smash Rockwell.
Smash Rockwell. Um, uh, have any written books or articles, right? That can be reviewed. So, okay, what I couldn't reliably find no clear web index of authors, right? I could not find any mainstream, but we do know that Garfield has written a book. So I don't like this.
So
I'm gonna go to
but
I'm gonna
is his book reviewable?
well, it couldn't find it. See, Amazon.
Dr. Mayat basically said it was a book report.
Of whose books was a book report?
Garfield's in them.
He said, "Well, I came up with the term book report.
Well, she used
Everybody
it
knows that,
also.
right?
She used it also.
So she said Garfield's book is a book report.
Yeah, it's basically a book report. Like what scholarly backing, what institution backed it, who reviewed it is, you feel me? If it's just
Okay.
regurgitated information and no, you know what I
She
mean?
said that about Garfield.
No, she basically said she was actually saying it about Sean and them. But it's the same format though.
Oh yeah, because I called Sean's whole team. All they doing is book reports. I
Right.
said that. Okay, so now I'm gonna say it again. I gotta find this search, and I'm gonna find this search. Can't search, so I'm gonna have to rewrite it. Sorry, family. So, of the so-called conscious community community channels on YouTube, especially House of Consciousness, uh, uh, Garfield Reed's, I don't podcast, Smash Rockwell, Saw M Hotep, Haniri's podcast. Who am I missing? Chief X, the real Chief X. He the real Chief X. He the realest X. Which among them can you find publications, articles that can be peer reviewed? Isn't this what people do all the time, right? If they want to know something, right? Isn't this what people do all the time? Okay. So among the channels you listed, books, papers is a Saw Imhotep. Oh, okay, and Garfield Reed. Garfield Reed presents himself publicly as the #1 best-selling author and interviews social pages references his book Black Hebrew Israelite Topic. However, his work appears as a self-published or trade book promoted by the Brother Bart Garfield's podcast, right? On Carnivorous Podcast and the Real Chief X, name surface in which other Carnivore or Chief X brands, online nutrition product corp. Okay. So now, so let's say, why did you miss, watch this, because I don't publish in my fake name. Mabry brother who Brother Reggie Mabry, who goes by Reggie, Brother Reggie Mabry. So why'd you miss me? Okay, set of channels, right? For clarity, Brother Reggie does in fact have at least one peer-reviewed style publication, his article, right? Which he explicitly identified as Reginald A. Mabry Inter Piscal. He also appears as Reginald Mabry on Google, right? Okay, so now I at least have of all of them one peer review. So what about Jonathan Owens, who runs Smash Rockwell? Okay, so we found Garfield. Okay, he has written work. He has a self-published book titled The Magi. Online chematology discussions. Could not locate any articles by Jonathan Owens in index reviewed journals. Contrast with Reginald Mabry's article. But he does have. He has two books. He has three books that I know. The question that I'm really asking is, anybody can publish a book on Amazon, but the difference between that is that it's not going to be indexed because you got to buy it, right? So YouTube won't know it. But Smash Rockwell does have pretty good articles, right? My issue with the conscious community generally is that they don't know how to publish their work so it could be even peer reviewed. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But Smash Rockwell, okay. So now, okay, so Brother Reggie's, what can you okay, let's do the Black City Plan. What is this?
It just be crazy. People actually be sitting up listening to us.
Okay. Okay. Okay, it goes into Black Planners. Black City is not a fixed word. Okay, so Black City, is there a PDF or work on? Okay, let me just get rid of that and just say Reginald, Brother Reggie, right? Reginald A. Mabry, right? Brother Reggie, Reginald A. Mabry. What can you find on this character? I'm not trying to prop myself up. I'm a character.
Yes, you is.
Huh? I'm not trying to prop myself up.
Man, shout out to everybody who watch this when we just be sitting here just talking. You know what I mean? If this channel ever blow up and go big and have thousands of people in the chat, I need the people who watch this type of stuff to say something so I can recognize you, so I can always point y'all out. Because if the channel ever get big, I want to remember all of you motherfuckers, because y'all are special ones. It's easy to jump on the channel when there's 1,000 people watching and but when you sit here for this shit to watch Reggie put his resume in Perplexity, right? When he already know all his works, he know everything.
Because it's actually, I'm surprised because I'm actually surprised. It talks about me but the
Reggie,
important
you
thing
put your name in perplexity every night to look at this shit. Don't lie.
I
Before you go to sleep at night, you type your own name in perplexity and all of the
well,
search engines and you just read about because you too self-absorbed, Reggie.
okay.
You love to toot your own horn. So
Well,
I
should I?
know
What I should be looking at other men. I'm just trying to figure out as a data person where it's picked up. But here's the author of the article: Syncretism means accurately translating Kemet to Africology, the Journal of Pan African Studies, where he's listed as Reginald Mabry, independent scholar. So I have a academic style publication. The point that I'm trying to make is the point that I'm trying to make is most of the stuff that we do on YouTube is just branding. It's really not relevant to anybody except for people that this is wrong. Nerve Eye of Heru, true living in comedic science. No, that's wrong. But but because I didn't write no comedics, true and living comedic science. So maybe somebody's quoting me, but I'm not involved in this bullshit. But but you should see what your profile is on search engines for good or bad, right? And yeah. So then I'm connected somehow to a Saw Imhotep, Dr. Mario Beatty, right, and etc. So uh, what I'm trying to say is that um, uh, people are relevant on their channels as their branding, but they're not really relevant on how can I say in the subject that they claim to be relevant in. Um, but I want to close this search stuff because it's killing your show. And you think I'm
no,
self-absorbed.
they actually listen. They said they enjoying it. Like, I don't know what's wrong with these niggas, but they say they enjoying it, Reggie. So I don't know. Maybe
Okay,
you
one
got
more.
something here.
No, I'm just showing you here. Wait, I'm just showing you because like the Kemetic high priest, right? The Kemetic high priest. So let me share my screen again. So let's just go into Google. Let's go into Google, right? And I would just say Google Reggie Mabry. Uh, find what you can on Brother Reggie or Reginald A. Mabry. I should have started on Google instead of Perplexity, right? Um, damn Google ads, right? Um, okay, so there you go, right? Black City Sovereignty, um, Brother Reggie and Osmond Torre discuss African and African. Happy, right? The Happy Show, Brother Reggie, right? Some of those people are not me. Some, but you see me. Uh, um, okay, and what else? Reginald. I should have said Reginald Mabry, right? So the question is some of these people are just not relevant outside of these channels. They're just simply not. And so it just gives me a right. Uh, wow. Okay. Let's do Google Scholar. How about Google Scholar? Google Scholar, right? Does anybody use Google Scholar? Anybody know what Google Scholar is?
Ooh,
Google
scholar.
Scholar is where you can find articles that watch this. If you're on Google Scholar, right? If you're on Google Scholar, these are more serious, how can I say, articles, right? So then you see me right here for my page. You see Yike. Okay. Yeah. So you see me start popping up. Reginald A. Mabry, right? Reginald A. Mabry. It's not perfect, but at least you see articles or articles relating to me. It's not as to me it didn't know. That's why I'm saying, Chef, you say I do this all the time. I'm actually just doing this now. But I think that people should do it. But then watch this. If I say Google Scholar and come back to the search, this will be the last one. This will be the last search on my side, and then I'll close out. So now Google Scholar, I'm going to say Reginald A. Mabry. So now if I look at, how can I say, if I look at cases, you're going to see Mabry versus this company, and I'm cited 147 times. I'm cited, a case that I did is cited 147 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all these cases are about me. See these cases right here? All of these cases are about me. And then I could say that's all time, and I can just say 2025, right? All these cases cite me. So when I talk about law, I think that people should understand that I'm cited 147 times in law. That's interesting. You would
Listen,
think,
they in the chat talking about they want you to go on the TLA. For some reason, they like this type shit. I don't know what's wrong with them. We got a
they
sick.
want me to go to TLA for what?
I don't. We got a sick crowd, Reggie. Don't listen to them.
We got views.
these
So
these
why
niggas
they want me
sick.
to go on? Huh?
It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and they talking about tell Reggie to go.
No, that they joking with me. Okay, but what I'm just trying to say is family. Let me just close out, Sheffrin.
Assholes.
I didn't know it was this late.
Right.
Sheffrin,
What's up?
for this whole Diop conversation and Kemet and whether they're black people, for 8-9 years, they only got up to page 12.
Well, no,
next
I
show
don't think they read up to page 12. I think they went to that part where it was talking about Kemet, and that's what they read. There's no way in the world. You know what I'm saying?
now you know, Chef, and now you can kill him. See, you're the chosen one, Sheffrin, right? Now you can kill him because you're going to say, so you only went to page 12 and 13, right? What did the final report say? Watch just shake it. With Chief X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Chief X, we hear what you say, but what did they say? Nobody says that they're black, right? These
Right.
niggas, it's Mediterranean. Remember, we spent what 3 years on Mediterranean,
Mm-hmm.
right? The next show they'll be better prepared. So that's why I'm not giving you the final report, right?
Man,
Because the
they
next
ain't reading that shit. If they ain't read it in 6 years, what makes
Chief X is here.
what makes you think they gonna read it now because you said so? Hell no. Listen, we've been talking about the Suleiman report since 2017. I've never read that shit. And I do shows on it, and I never read it. I haven't read the Nurat study. Why would I read that? What?
Can y'all hear me?
I'm not gonna understand that shit.
He's talking.
Go ahead, Chief X. It's your show, Chief X. Get Reggie.
Yeah,
Reggie tried to kill you.
I understand. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, Reggie's Googling me. My nickname is Chief X. You're not going to find nothing under Chief. My name is Varian Xavier Shelton. Secondly, I'm not a scholar. So you're not going to find any publications on me. I've never ever claimed to be a scholar or any of that. So Reggie has to stop playing and manipulating the audience and doing all this stuff. Okay? I don't know what he's looking for. Whatever he's looking for has nothing to do with anything I've said. Okay? So let's just be honest for a second, okay? Um, um, Also, yeah, Reen, let me correct you, Chef Reen, because you threw me under the bus.
I threw
Okay,
everybody under the bus. Go.
incredible. Let me let you know, since day one, I just want maybe you misunderstood me. Let me just correct it. From day one, I've always said Egyptians and all of North Africans are African people. I've never ever said anything otherwise. And I listened to you, Chef. I said, let me Google my first presentation, which was Black Egypt Debunked, the first 5 years ago. It's
Right.
got 50,000 views. I said, well, maybe I'm tripping or something. I had to read it. And I went through all the points where I said North Africans are Africans. They're just not Black Africans. Are we clear, Chef?
Yeah, but okay, so do you remember the show? And I agree. You did say that. You were saying that from the beginning. I totally agree. But guess what? You did a show one day where you said that they came out of Mesopotamia, and you said that's what I always been saying.
Exactly.
You deleted that show.
No. I have that show up. I have a show up called They Came from the North, right? This is what I was saying. What I'm saying is I'm just saying, Chef, I just want to correct things so people don't misunderstand me.
Fuck up all the time. We not scholars.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. This is Chief X you're talking to. If I screw up, I will always 100%
You
of the time
did,
say,
and you said you did, and you deleted that show.
no. We're talking about, see, this is what I'm saying. We're talking about a show that was just 9 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm telling you is
That
when I
your general argument precedes that.
no. Listen what I'm saying. I'm just saying, Chef, maybe you misquoted me. It's okay though. I just want to clarify for the audience. When I first made Black Egypt Debunk 5.5 years ago, it hasn't been 6 years yet. I continuously said we are tropical Africans. They are arid or desert Africans. I've always called North Africans and Egyptians African people. What the clarification is, I just said the Egyptians' distant ancestry comes from other places and things like that, right? But locally, it was started by Egyptian. But I'm just saying, I've always called Egyptians and all North Africans Africans. I just said they weren't Black Africans. I just wanted to clear that up.
No,
Okay.
I listen, and I'm saying you said that. You feel me?
Okay.
Like nobody's saying you didn't. But see, that's the thing. When you argue for 6, 7 years and you taking in new information, you fuck up, you move. You dig what I'm saying? You see the error in the previous part of your argument, you adjust that part. Y'all acting like all of that is not in the game. If I didn't switched up, if I didn't change shit, maybe I'm not as invested as you and them, right?
Right. So
Because I can be honest, like, damn, I remember when I used to fuck this part up, I kind of switched it. I don't even use that argument no more. Like, y'all, I see y'all doing it, but y'all are so engaged in arguing with each other that now is not even realistic. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Like me and Corey talk about our fuck ups and how we used to fuck this part up and how we switched that. And like, you would do yourself better if you talked about that part of it. Like, we're all learning in this. We all start from, if we all came from pseudo Dr. Ben and them, of course we was fucking shit up. You think you just gonna get out of all of that madness without any dirt on you, without misinformation on you? Impossible. You feel me?
Chef Ring. This is Chief X fam. I've never screwed up or flip flopped or changed my
Damn.
statement. Now listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Chef, I've never flip flopped or changed my stance.
I'm
or
talking
said
about
anything.
inside of the argument, not your
Chef,
general, not your, listen, Your general
Chef,
position is that the
Chef,
Egyptians aren't black. That's your
Chef,
general position, right?
Chef, you have to let me finish a sentence,
All
man.
right, go
I
ahead.
got you. Just trust me, I got you, bro. I have never ever switched up my stance since day one when I made the first video that got 15,000 views on Black Egypt Debunked. In that video, I'm going to have to play this tomorrow maybe so people can understand. I was clearly saying that we are tropical Africans and they are arid or desert Africans. From day one, I've always considered Egyptians and North Africans African people. The only thing I said that they're not Black Africans. Sub-Saharan Africans are Black Africans, but North Africans and Egyptians are not Black Africans, but they are Africans. I've never changed or said anything different. That's all I'm saying. Now, in the process, I haven't changed my stance one bit, Jeffrey. Never, ever. And if I have, I would love for someone to show me where I've changed my stance. I've been on this one stance the whole time. I've never changed. I've considered everybody on the continent of Africa Africans, right? I only said people's distant ancestors, which the DNA evidence proves that people migrated in and out, they back migrated, they migrated, they back migrated, they migrated. Even before the Egyptian dynasties, the nation state was put together. This is all I'm saying, okay? So I'm saying distant ancestors come from other lands,
So,
right?
so
That's
you
all I'm
saying Unc is the only one who switched up anything?
Ankh switched up because I flipped him and he switched up the thing to my side. Or let me just say this, Chef. Ankh came to me on your side. When we were the ones that first said they're not black or white. I have this proof, but I didn't drop it. I should have dropped it yesterday. I have this proof. I'm telling you, me, you, Corey, and Double X, were saying that they're not black or white. Ankh picked that up from us. I would not jive, Chef. Trust me
But
on this.
Unc saying that they're not black or white because he's saying that black and white don't exist there. You know, any type of race. I listen. Like I said
Wait,
earlier.
wait, Sheffrin.
Go ahead.
Okay, so ask Chief X
You
when
ask him. You right here. What the fuck?
yeah, okay,
Go
that's
ahead.
fine.
Y'all
So Chief
crazy.
X,
Rick,
what did the UNESCO report say?
let me let you know, Reggie. I'm an adult, and I know how to have an adult conversation. I know how to be calm and be mature and have a conversation. It goes out of hand when people get to insulting and misrepresenting me. Then I get a little passionate and say, "Don't misrepresent me." So, what's your question to me, Reggie?
Okay, well, Chief X, I usually, for the most part, you've never heard me call you too much of a name unless it got out of hand, right? So I
No,
want
no,
to, so your issue on uh that the ancient Egyptians, you're telling us now that you didn't argue that they were Mediterranean?
no, you're confusing me. Let me clarify so you can understand and everybody listening to me understand.
Did you ever say that?
I said it.
Listen to what listen to what I'm saying, Reggie. I'm going to clarify this for you and everybody. Two and three things can all be correct at the same time. I continuously say every time ancient Egypt is a transcontinental country. They are African, they are also connected to the Middle East, and they are also connected to Mediterranean. South Sub-Saharan African cannot be three things that are true. Egypt is the only country specifically located in that geographical area directly connected to West Asia. 1/4 of Egypt actually is West Asia. That's not me talking. That is geography. So they are also Mediterranean, they're West Asian, and they're African. All three of them things are true.
Okay.
Now, Ghana cannot be Mediterranean and West Asian because of its location. I've always said this. So when I say that they're Mediterranean, that's true. When I say that they're African, that's true. When I say that they're connected to West Asia, that is also true. Where
Okay.
have I heard?
Chief X, what about all this stuff about the nappy-headed,
Question, Reggie. I
that
asked
the
you what.
ancient Egyptians are nappy-headed, that
Listen,
they
listen, listen.
have they're
You're not-
Mediterranean? What about all that?
you're moving the goalposts.
No, I'm just asking you a question. You say you're adult, you know how to have
Reggie,
adult conversations, right?
Reggie,
Did you ever
Reggie.
say that?
Okay, Reggie. Let
Ancient
me just.
Egyptians did
Okay, go
not
ahead.
have nappy hair.
Reggie.
They had
I
straight
I
hair. Did you
said
ever say that?
also, I said that also, but I just asked you a question. Did I
Okay,
not?
I'm gonna answer your question, but
You're,
answer my question. Okay, you said that.
what you're
Okay, what's
doing?
your question?
What you're doing is you're trying to talk over me to negate the fact that the question I asked you.
No. I'm sorry. What's your question you asked me?
Listen, Reggie, just relax.
No,
I
I'm
keep
not. Listen, I'm
okay,
relaxed.
when I'm asking you to relax, just let me continue once I say
No, you're
relax.
not gonna lecture me to death. Just
So
ask
what
me the
I'm not
question
gonna
again so I can answer you.
I'm trying to have an adult conversation so we
I'm
can.
adult. I'm 60
Y'all,
years
y'all,
old.
y'all have a poor. Let me say this about y'all, right?
Go ahead,
Y'all
Reggie.
have a poor way of communicating. If y'all gonna talk without antagonizing each other. That is
Right.
insane.
Chef, what did I do to antagonize them? I said, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, Chief
What
X,
is your
stop being
question?
argumentative in a conversation like that.
Another fake narrative. Here's another fake narrative. I simply asked him a question, and he
Ask me
didn't
the question again, sir. I'm sorry.
answer the question again. And stay focused and relax and breathe. I've always said day one that Egypt is a transcontinental country, meaning it can be three things at once and three things can be true. Am I correct?
In some contexts,
See, this is what I'm saying.
ancient Egypt in the Old Kingdom,
Let me ask you this. Is
ancient
Egypt,
Egypt in in the Old Kingdom. See, I can't answer. You
let me,
want to ask me another question? I was going to answer that.
let me couch it a different way because this way is not going to work. Let me couch it this way then. Let me couch it your way. Ancient Egypt is an African country in an African civilization. Do you agree? And then let me go on with the next
I
question.
agree.
Okay. Ancient Egypt was also the preeminent force in the Mediterranean world. Is that true?
No.
It is, Reggie, and I've showed and proved that. Ancient
Okay, I
Egypt,
gave you my answer. No.
well, let me answer it. Let me do it a different way now. Let me see if you can be honest. Anyone right now can Google ancient Egyptian food. Is ancient Egyptian food Mediterranean food?
No.
Okay. For the people in the audience in the chat, Google right now, is ancient Egyptian food Mediterranean food? It's going to say yes. I'm not making that up, Reggie. Okay. Ancient Egyptian food, they eat falafels. These are all Mediterranean
That's
based.
modern.
Okay. Listen, Reggie.
That's not ancient Egyptian. There was no falafel in ancient Egypt.
Saying is ancient Egypt. Who invaded ancient Egypt? Romans, and Greeks. Romans and Greeks are Mediterranean people. They sit in the Mediterranean Sea. Just like Egypt, northern coast sits in the Mediterranean Sea. All these people do business with each other, do trade with each other, and get involved with each other. They're all part of Mediterranean culture. Whether you're talking about North African coast or
Mhm.
whether you're talking about Southern Europe coast, they're all Mediterranean coast. This is a scientific and geographical fact. It's nothing I'm making up. Am I
Are you
correct?
making okay? So respectfully, you're
Okay,
making it up. When you start talking about falafel, so what is ancient Egyptian food, by the way?
what I just said, am I correct?
No.
Now ask Chef Ring. Chef Ring, what I said, is that correct?
No, you wasn't correct.
Okay, what wasn't correct in what I just said? Let me be clear. So I can correct myself if I wasn't correct. My
It says
question,
that Egypt is not Mediterranean.
what says,
Chat GPT. And
okay,
it says, well, I'll read it to you. It says, is Egyptians Mediterranean? It says, short answer, ancient Egyptians were not Mediterranean in the modern ethnic sense, though Egypt is geographically connected to the Mediterranean world. Clarifying the
right,
distinction. Hold on, clarifying the distinction. Geography. Northern Egypt borders the Mediterranean Sea. The Nile Delta naturally linked Egypt to the Mediterranean trade routes. Culture and civilization. Ancient Egypt was a Nile Valley African civilization, culturally
agree with
continuous with Upper Egypt and Nubia. Core
I agree
religious
with that.
ideas, kingship, language, and burial practices developed inside of Africa, not from Greece or Rome. Population.
I, I
Egyptians
never
were
said,
indigenous Nile Valley peoples. Over millennia, Egypt experienced contact and limited admixture with Levantines, Libyans, Nubians, and later Greeks and Romans, especially in the Delta. This does not convert Egyptians into a Mediterranean ethnic group. 4. Mediterranean is a modern label. In antiquity, Mediterranean described a shared sea and trade zone, not a race or a single people. Ancient Egyptians did not self identify as Mediterranean, they identified by land, Kemet, region, and culture. So, bottom line, geographically, Egypt is partly Mediterranean facing. Culturally and ethnically, ancient Egyptians were African, Nile Valley people, not Mediterranean Europeans. Now, for your second question, was ancient Egyptian food Mediterranean? Short
stop there.
answer, you wanted to say something?
Just stop right there for a second,
Okay.
Chef, because I never claimed that the ancient Egyptians, listen, I said clearly what you just read. Read that part again.
The last part,
Oh, the last few sentences you said.
bottom line, geographically, Egypt is partly Mediterranean facing.
Okay.
Culturally and ethnically, ancient Egyptians were African Nile Valley people, not Mediterranean Europeans.
It never said that they were Mediterranean Europeans. I disagree with that. So I'm correct. I'm
No.
s- no. Listen.
There was nothing that there was nothing that you was correct about, Chief X.
Hold
Do
on.
y'all want to hear the
Don't do the
food?
mind
Y'all
game.
start arguing over the food.
Don't do the mind game thing, Reggie. I
There was
never.
nothing.
No, Reggie, don't
What
do the
was
mind
correct
game.
about what
See,
you said?
Reggie knows I have a point here, and he's trying to interrupt me, so I won't make
No.
my point clear. Just let me. Let's have an adult conversation. Listen.
I'm grown, man. I'm 60.
Listen. Let's have an adult conversation, Reggie.
How old are you? 61?
Reggie, slow down for a second. Don't get so nervous right now. Relax.
No, I'm not nervous.
Reggie, when we're having
ChatGPT
an
put
adult
belt to
conversation,
ass.
you have to let me just speak for a minute and make my point.
ChatGPT put belt to ass.
They didn't let me make my point.
Let him make his point, Reggie. Let him go.
What he read, I never said Egypt was a southern European people. I never said that. That is a false narrative.
So what did you say?
Okay, listen, eat one more time, because since people did not hear me or playing mind games right now, let me say it again and make it clear. Egyptians are African people. One more time. Egyptians are African people. I have never in my life said otherwise. The only thing I added was 2 things or 3 things can be correct. I'm not sure why y'all don't speak English and understand me right now. I'm reading right now. It says, I'm reading right now. I put in, is Egypt a Mediterranean country? ChatGPT said, just like you read, Chef, yes, Egypt is a Mediterranean country because it has extensive coastline on the Mediterranean Sea to its
Chef,
north.
ask
Hold on,
ChatGPT,
let
is
me
he
finish my-
right?
let me just read this thing. Don't do that,
No,
man.
ask ChatGPT.
Let
No,
him
no, no,
let him
Is
don't
he
read.
do
Let him
correct?
read. Let him read. The show is recorded, so it doesn't matter, Reggie. Like if what y'all had originally stated, it made me prompt and ask the question how y'all was talking about it. So
Okay, no.
go ahead, Chief X.
Okay. Egypt is, I would never ever in my life push no misinformation. I'm not doing this for my benefit. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm trying to be totally 100% unbiased. Listen, Egypt is a Mediterranean country.
Ask
Anyone,
ask
hold on,
ChatGPT
Reggie.
that.
All right, so
See,
let me control this. So then
no,
y'all
no,
asked about the food.
let me finish reading this one
All
few
right, go ahead. Go ahead,
sentences.
Chief X.
Please. Yes. People don't want to hear this because they know I'm about to kick it.
Kick it.
Yes. Egypt is a Mediterranean country. Now, I'm just saying anyone can Google this, and it's going to say exactly what Chief X is saying. Yes, Egypt is a Mediterranean country because it has extensive, it didn't say a little bit, extensive coastlines on the Mediterranean Sea to its north, making it part of the broader Mediterranean region. North Africa and the Middle East, with its capital Cairo and a major city, Alexandria, located on this coast. It said Cairo and its major city, not a minor city, its major city, Alexandria, is located on this coast because the majority of Egyptians' population is more closer to the coast than in the desert, is all I'm saying. Okay. So it is a Mediterranean country.
Okay.
All of North Africa is a Mediterranean country. This is not an opinion. This is not anyone
Okay,
can
so
do.
let's fact
So
check it.
that's what I'm saying. Let me land my plane.
Relax, Chief X. Don't get scared.
Land-
Don't get scared, Chief X.
I'm gonna
Right?
land. I'm
All we
gonna
want
land
to do is fact check you.
now, and don't get nervous, Reggie.
No,
I said,
don't get nervous when we fact check your ass and put belt to ass.
okay, fact check me, and you're gonna see just what I just said. So what I'm saying is, Egypt is Mediterranean. It's also African, right? And it's also connected to West Asian. I'm not sure what you guys are hearing. If you disagree with everything I said is a total fact. Ghana is not a transcontinental country.
Oh, don't
It's
don't move to Ghana. That's.
well, I'm just
I
making an
think you made your
example.
point, but you made your point. You
An
don't
example
don't
that
don't over.
no, no, Chef, I get you. I'm just letting you know that certain countries' geographical area are different than other people's geographical area. So Egypt is the only one who is a transcontinental country. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Chef, can you please fact check that is ancient Egypt a Mediterranean country?
I just did. It
Google,
said no.
Huh?
no, no. Google. Is Egypt a Mediterranean
No,
country?
y'all was talking about ancient Egypt at first,
No,
Ancient
no.
Egypt.
and
We're not
then
talking
and
about
then
current day Egypt.
I'll further clarify. I didn't even put in was it ancient Egypt? I just said Egypt. Y'all, no, actually, y'all was talking about the Egyptians, right? But then y'all went to is the Egyptian food, ancient Egyptian food Mediterranean,
This is what I
or
just did,
y'all want
Chef
to
Ring.
skip that part?
No, this is
No, no,
no,
because these are all the things that he said.
no,
But I
no.
would rather go, is ancient Egypt considered a Mediterranean country?
Type
Y'all
that
don't
in
y'all
also.
don't like clarity, do y'all?
Let me give you clarity because I'm trying to be real. I just typed in ancient Egypt and modern Egypt. It said, yes, ancient Egypt is considered a Mediterranean country. I typed in, is Egypt a Mediterranean country? It says the exact same thing. The location never changes, whether it's ancient or modern. It is still the same location.
So what about the
Okay,
what
so
about the food?
Chefrin, wait,
Yes.
Chefrin.
Listen, I've shared
He's saying,
present.
watch this, y'all.
All you
He's
got to
saying
do is
his
listen.
chat GPT.
All anyone has to do is Google
No,
is
Chef got it
Egyptian
on the
food
screen.
Mediterranean, and it'll tell you yes, Egyptian is. Excuse me, is Egyptian food Mediterranean?
Why do you have to overtalk, bro?
I'm not
All
over
we're
talking.
saying is we can all see Chef's screen. All we're asking is, Chefrin, please search. Is ancient Egypt considered a Mediterranean country?
Okay.
Be honest.
Yeah,
Don't do
ChatGPT, be honest.
yeah. Don't do that because Reggie's on here and people's listening. Be
Look,
honest.
I'm just typing. Listen, I'm just typing this shit in. Whatever comes up, it comes
A
up.
met
What is it?
Butterfly Gypsy said, no, Reggie, the food. Okay, Chefrin,
Is-
you got the food up?
So you say, yeah, I got the food up. So you want me to
Okay,
read
let's
that
do the
first?
food. Yeah.
Ancient Egyptian food was not Mediterranean in origin, though it overlapped with the Mediterranean diet later through trade and foreign influence. Core reality. What you say,
Wait.
Chief X?
they're trading with Mediterranean people.
It said later. You don't see the word later?
Doesn't matter later, now, there is
So y'all
Yeah,
not gonna let me
ancient
read.
Egypt is
Y'all not gonna
different
let me
than
read
later.
it. Whatever it say, why we just can't live with it?
I'm reading it and I read it to you. I'm reading it. It says, yes, Egyptian food is considered a part of the Mediterranean cuisine.
Yeah, hold
blending
on. Y'all was talking about, all right, so I ain't even gonna read the ancient Egypt, but we gonna act like y'all wasn't talking about ancient Egypt food. I'm
were.
just, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So what was your
Okay,
next
well,
question,
it's getting
Chief X?
time.
I mean,
This,
Reggie.
yeah, listen, my whole thing is
Is
what
ancient
Chief
Egypt the
says in his
Mediterranean
world
what?
is ancient Egypt considered a Mediterranean country.
Is ancient Egypt? I thought I already asked that.
Considered a Mediterranean. Okay, a Mediterranean country. Is ancient Egypt a Mediterranean country? I'll take that.
I'm typing it now. I've typed it in 3 different ways.
Who cares? We got something on the screen, Chief X. You can't see the screen?
Is
Screen 'cause I'm on
ancient Egypt considered a Mediterranean country? Short answer, no. Ancient
I'm
Egypt
not.
is not considered a Mediterranean country in the historical or civilizational sense, even though it had Mediterranean contact. Why the answer is no. Geography equals civilization. Don't equal civilization, right? Egypt has a Mediterranean coastline, but geography alone does not define a civilization. Ancient Egypt's heartland was the Nile Valley, extending deep into Africa, not the sea. 2, economic and ecological base. Mediterranean civilizations, Greece, coastline, Levant, southern Italy, were sea-oriented. Olive oil, wine, maritime trade. Ancient Egypt was a river-orientated food agriculture, emmer wheat, barley, beer, and Nile fish. Egypt's economy, calendar, religion, and kingship all evolved around the Nile flood, not the Mediterranean Sea. 3, cultural self-definition. Egyptians called their land Kemet, the black land of fertile silk. It just killed you, Reggie. They did not define themselves by the sea or identify as Mediterranean. Their closest cultural continuities were with Upper Egypt and Nubia, not Greece or Rome. 4, contact does not equal classification. Egypt traded with the Levant and the Aegean. Mediterranean influence increases late, especially under Ptolemaic Egypt and Roman Egypt. That influence reflects imperial rule and trade, not Egypt's original civilizational identity. When people say Mediterranean Egypt, what do they usually mean? Usually one of these modern shortcuts. Geographic, that's what Chief X means, right? In the geographic sense. Egypt borders the Mediterranean. It says true. Late period history, Greek/Roman rule, true but late. Trade network, participation in Mediterranean exchange, true but secondary. None of these make ancient Egypt itself a Mediterranean civilization. Bottom line, ancient Egypt, African Nile Valley civilization, not Mediterranean. Northern coast, Mediterranean facing, correct. Later Urs, Mediterranean influence under foreign rule, correct. So, y'all both right.
Wait. What do you mean we both right?
Y'all both right. It
both right?
said everything that Chief X said, but it said in the later periods. And it said everything
we're
that you
talking about
said in this formation.
We're talking about ancient Egypt.
Yes, did you see what I typed in?
I saw everything that you said.
How about this, Chef?
So then what are we arguing about?
Ptolemaic.
I'm ending the
Chef.
show. I ain't getting between
Chef.
two crazy old motherfuckers
Chef, I
who
didn't
can't
say
even
that
take
much.
the.
Chef,
Wait,
hold
Chef,
on.
I didn't say that. The later period is
Yes.
the late period, which is the Ptolemaic
It said
period.
that, but it said that.
All right, so
How about this, Chef Rain?
you're just trying to save Chef. You're trying to save.
How about Chef Rain, how about this? Me and Reggie come on your channel
Yes, sir.
tomorrow or the next day, and me and Reggie have a debate on is ancient Egypt a Mediterranean country?
That's stupid debate.
I love it. I love it.
See how Reggie backs down, and I'm ready.
No, it's not that, Chief X.
He won't take
First of all, before I debate somebody, it's got to be worth my time.
Yeah, never.
You got no education in the subject. You're a Googler.
You're debating, right?
You're
But
a Googler. You got no real writing that could be published. You're a
Debating right
regurgitator.
You're debating right now for not even one penny.
No, I'm not even debating you. I'm just trying to say, Chef,
You are going back and forth for hours and ain't getting a dime.
Chief X, if you read what Sheffrin wrote, everything that you said just killed you. It's not ancient Egypt geographically, right?
He don't want the debate.
Geographically, but not the people, Chef. I mean,
Reggie is not ready to debate me on your show, Chef Rain.
No, you're not worth my time.
Right.
Y'all got to stop doing this to each other, man.
We don't.
Why?
Like
these cats.
We got to stop disparaging, each other
I'm
and
just
saying.
telling you the damn truth.
No, here's one other thing I came on here for.
I mean, you're a Googler, you're a YouTuber. You don't write shit.
Well, then demonstrate it then.
Let me say this, Chef, and I'll let y'all go ahead because I'm gonna go ahead and go get some sleep. Let me just say this one thing, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's 2:58 for us on the East Coast. God damn it, it's fucking what?
I just
11
said.
o'clock, 12.
I just said, let me say this one thing and get out of here, and y'all can continue on. Reggie is so scared he don't want me to say this one thing. God damn. Let me just say this one thing, and I'm gone, and y'all can continue your conversation. Reggie. You guys made a mistake tonight. Chef Friend, I'm glad you had this live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the chat saw that you.
Why are you cutting me off? Why can't just say this and get off the phone?
Because I don't get a chance to
No,
speak.
because you're scared what I'm about to say. You just said I'm about to get off the goddamn stream. Can't even be patient for that and continue. Relax. Listen, Reggie, you said Google you. While you and Chef were streaming, I Googled your ass. I Googled your publication. I Googled the Pan-African Journal. I Googled ASCAC you sent it to. And Chef Rain asked you, who takes to your whatever you presented, your publication, who takes to it? Guess what, Reggie? You have one citation that someone used. One. And it was another Afrocentric. Not nobody in the world of academia took you serious. And I'm about to show this tomorrow and expose your ass. Anything you published, nobody even looked at or cared about. And I'm going to show the people tomorrow since you opened your goddamn mouth.
Why you want
Okay?
to do that to Reggie?
No,
Because
he can do
Reggie
it.
got to running and lying to the people about his publications and who he sent it to. Nobody.
Y'all so mean, man. Y'all.
Wait,
Reggie,
wait, 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 wait.
since
No, you
Reggie
can
wanted
do.
to
You
lie
can.
to the
You
people,
can. I
since Reggie
welcome
wanted to lie
first.
to the
First,
people,
it gives you a chance to
no,
read because I don't know if you could read.
since
But
Reggie
second of
wanted
all,
since Reggie wanted to lie to the people and
Let
act
him
like
lie. Let him lie. Let him lie, Chief.
right?
Don't do
this
that
is
to the brother, man. Let him
No, no, do
be
it.
better. Be
because
better than them, Chief X. That's your
um,
superpower.
I'm gonna expose this nigga tomorrow and show you his
You said
academic
Chief X
work.
was a righteous man.
Listen, Sheffreen. Listen to what I'm telling you, Sheffreen. This nigga
So,
claimed that academia know about his shit and had he published. I'm gonna show you that only one person in the history of humankind ever cited his work, and it was another Afrocentric. Matter of fact, it was himself. In other words,
You
all you
said he
got to do
cited
is
himself.
trust me on this. I'm trying to tell you. When just do this, Google. If a person just do this, Sheffrey. If a person only has one citation, what does that mean? If you Google
I
that, and
don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna wait for your
you
show.
gonna
I'm
know
not making.
tomorrow.
You know what I mean?
You gonna know tomorrow. You gonna know tomorrow when I expose this nigga. When a person only has one citation, that means no one paid attention to his bullshit and they thought it was a bunch of bullshit. Because what the citation was, and what he tried to publish was he tried to publish that Kemet means black people instead of the black soil. This is what he did, and he got exposed, and I will show you tomorrow.
Oh my God.
So you
Stall
ready?
him out, Chief X.
no,
Tomorrow,
no, 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 no,
you're
no.
able to prove these lies again about
It's
your
fine.
publishing.
It's
Reggie,
fine.
this is Chief Fix. So you fucked with the wrong person.
No, no, no.
You
You
fucked with the
using
wrong
all these
person, and
sexual words.
tomorrow I'm
You
gonna make
using
you
all these sexual
apologize.
words.
And I'm
Hey,
gonna
Chief
embarrass
X,
you.
you've been talking.
And I'm gonna make you apologize, and you're gonna be embarrassed tomorrow because you sitting up here talking too much shit. And I'm gonna check your ass and show everybody tomorrow. Reggie has been lying to everybody for years about his publication. I got you, Reggie. Don't trip.
Look, you see how this turns into.
I'm out of here, y'all.
Yeah, get out of here. So you see how this turns into.
And
Okay,
piece of shit liar. And we're gonna all see tomorrow. He been bullshitting this whole show, talking about his publications, and no one's ever cited his work because it's trash. I'm out.
okay.
I just want to
So,
run a decent show, y'all. Like I really do.
why'd you invite the? Why'd you invite? Why'd you invite the guy? Why'd you entertain him? Everything that he said was incorrect, right?
Right?
Then he gets mad at that, right? He gets mad at that, and then so he want to try to take it out on me by now he wants to search, and so let him come up, and we're gonna see that his research skills about Brother Reggie is absolutely wrong. But one thing is clear, he ain't got no publication that's out there for any review, right? That's the first thing. So how does a person come from no work, right, to criticizing somebody who has work? And what he's going to do is, in fact, he is going to uh, show what he can find, and then I'll just come back and uh, I'll show uh, I'll show who has cited me. Matter of fact, let me I'm just what I'm trying to do is because I had done it before. I had a list of citations.
Reggie, I
Right?
believe you. I'm going to sleep. I gotta go work in the morning. You gotta go to the
Yeah, you
museum in the
do.
morning.
But so this dude with all these little homo association words,
Mm-hmm.
right? This dude is gonna get upset because ChatGPT busted his ass. It's simple as that. And so now he's gonna expose me.
Yeah, that's not fair, Chief X. That's not fair. You know what I mean? Just because
No, it's fair.
a argument don't go your way, you don't supposed to go and try to expose somebody. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, it's fair because I have this, like I have the Kemetic high priest say no shrine uses his work. F a shrine, like and then he tries to say, what else he tried to say about my work? Uh, oh, uh, when he said that he didn't, he didn't, what he did not do is criticize his teachers on their credentials. He want to worry about my credentials, right?
Listen.
But he
We
don't want
know.
to.
We know. Listen, Reggie.
Say what?
We know him and Unc is gonna be mad because we found out that they ain't read shit. So that's why he came up here, man. We got them niggas tonight, Reggie. We good. You feel me? We cooked them niggas. Trust me, it's recorded. You feel me? Them niggas cook. You know what I mean? Let them get mad.
Yeah, I mean, all this time he never answered the question on what did the UNESCO final report say, right? That's what he didn't do. So I'm like, and then with Ankh is that the issue with Ankh is that what did the final report say?
Unc only read one paragraph of that shit. We know it. And they argued over one word for 3 months. You feel me? And never got to the conclusion of what the final report actually said. So we got these niggas. They didn't argue for 6 years and don't even know the how the argument started. We got these niggas. All right, Reggie, I'm out. Thanks for pulling up. I gotta get some rest. Y'all, they don't want you to go, Reggie. Reggie gotta go because I gotta go, y'all. Matter of fact, Reggie, go live on your channel. They want this shit to keep going.
3:00 in the morning, family.
They want you to keep going.
I gotta get up, but
they want you to keep going.
What I'm just trying to say is that, well, Chef, good night. Good night. You deserve a good night.
All right, bro. Good night. Let Reggie go, y'all. Let the TLA guard go. Yo, these niggas are hilarious. Yo, y'all still up. Listen, because these niggas don't know how entertaining they is. If y'all see what I got going on, man, listen. My night just starting. And I'm already tired because I've been up fucking with y'all. I got to go upstairs and handle something. I'm going to get with y'all. Hey, Butterfly Gypsy. Lucido, Smalls. Everybody. Solo. Who else? Sonic, you still here? Super Wavy popped up. You dig what I'm saying? Yo, what is y'all doing up this late? Kane then pulled up. Yo, y'all are crazy. Corey pulled up. Man, I got to go. I got to get some rest, man. Hey, look, hopefully we're going to get it in tomorrow. Look, we're going to get it back in tomorrow, y'all. Saturday, we might do a show before the Stevenson fight. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson fight Saturday. So we might, matter of fact, hey, if y'all in the Discord, I can stream the fight in the Discord on the low if y'all want to watch it together. You dig what I'm saying? I got the setup to actually do it. I can't stream it on YouTube because the channel will get shut down. You dig what I'm saying? But if y'all want to hop over to the Discord, you dig what I'm saying, and we do a show in the Discord and watch the fight over there together, I can finagle that. So let me know if y'all ain't in the Discord. Get in the Discord. You know, this show is teamed up with the TMI Discord, and there's hella fun in there. That's where I be at all day. You dig what I'm saying? Most of the time, these shows and stuff start in the Discord from us tripping out and that motherfucker going absolutely bananas. And half of the show I wanted to do today is I had questions for Brass. And Brass didn't show up. That supposed to be my co-host tonight. But I know he busy with the snow and everything, you feel me? But he was supposed, so I know he probably went to sleep. I took too long. I was on the phone fussing with Unc for an hour when the show had supposed to have started, man. Unc got into a real good conversation before I clicked on here. So I got I got questions for Unc. I got questions for Chief X. I got questions for Reggie. You know what I mean? And now I have questions for Brass. So tomorrow we're going to get into my questions for Brass because that is a colorful character right there. I got questions. You feel me? Just to let y'all know, Brass is a blackologist. But the way that he arrived at his blackology is different from how the rest of us arrived at our blackology. So I got questions. You dig what I'm saying? I want to see how that happened. You feel me? How did he arrive at blackology without Dr. Ben in there? So tune in tomorrow. Matter of fact, this new segment is going to be called I Got Questions. You feel me? Because I ain't got no answers. You see how I didn't give no answers today. I just got questions for niggas. You feel me? I just got questions. You know what I mean? Hey, Super Wavy, I just got questions. I might got a question for you. You feel me? I might got a question for you. I just got questions. I ain't even arguing with niggas no more. You feel me? My mind already made up. I just got questions. I want to see how y'all arrived at certain positions that y'all hold. You feel me? So, that's going to be the new show. That's going to be the new show. I got questions. You feel me? So, I got to go. I got to go handle something. And I got to be to work early in the morning. And I still got to handle something tonight. Yeah, he definitely a blackologist, Smalls. He goes ham. You feel me? So yeah, man, this show been hella fun, man. It's always fun when I come through and kick it with the Carnivorous Podcast. You dig what I'm saying? And this new shit is called I Got Questions. If y'all are not subscribed to my new channel, go ahead and subscribe. I don't even feel like finding the link. It's called E Pluribus. Go find it, y'all. I'm out. I gotta go. Peace. The fuck? I'm up here tripping.